Alright, I'm here. I was sort of like, can you hear me? Of course you can hear me. I just can't hear me. Hi, guys. How many days will it take for me to get used to how pre-streams work? Because I was scrambling. like, I was scrambling. I was scarfing down food, running. I am. I don't know where I am at. Like, I definitely had most of the day today to kind of let what happened yesterday sink in, but I don't think I'm ever going to be prepared, like, no matter what I do. Hey, Lacey. Hey, Chatter. Hey, Butter. Glad you guys could stop by. Not bad, though it's still afternoon for me. Oh, yeah, that's right. Looking forward to my favorite arc. Oh, arc, your favorite is two? Really? Carrot speaks about it really fondly, which I find interesting. I wonder how much they really differ. And then people keep scaring me about Arc 4, and I'm just like, I don't know what to expect. Let me turn up the music, by the way. It's probably awkward without the music right this second. Oops. And I turn that bitch up. Hey, Gray, how are we? Hello, I was able to make it since my dance practice. Oh, you do dance, Butter? Okay, Butter lore. Maybe most people know that, but I didn't know that. That's super cool. I'm glad that, I mean, not good that it got moved, I guess, but glad that you could show up, because it's gonna get rough, guys. Last night I had to spend like a good hour like really winding down from what took place. Like, it was not at all what I was expecting, and apparently it just gets worse. So fuck it, whatever, we ball. We're already in too deep. We're already here. Yes, all the arcs are great, but I have a special fondness for two. I think you'll understand when you play. Okay. I'm more than open. I'm excited to see what my favorite turns out to be, and I'm having a great time. Like, even though yesterday was spooky, and yeah, I don't blame you, Gray. It was tough. And if at any point you really do feel like you need to dip, just dip. Like, I will not be upset, like, even slightly. Because it's a lot. It's heavy, and I guess, like, I am squeamish to horror, but I think I might have a higher tolerance for it than some people who aren't horror fans, if that makes sense. I think it's just more for me, I don't consider myself a fan most of the time, but I'm a fan of our Wonderland. I'll say that, and that rhymes. Bars. Did we see Orlum yet? Yeah, we did. We did. And we went through the whole first act, and everybody got wrapped up yesterday, but if you weren't here, I'll just give you a summary. We all died. We all died. And Iggy was able to make a wish, and his wish was that he wished he didn't exist. And the reason why he did that is because he feels like he's personally responsible for all his friends' demises, or like why they turned out the way they did. And to an extent, I understand why he feels that way, but I'm not gonna be on the board of like Iggy is responsible for everything, because that's way too much pressure for any person, honestly. Canonically we all died. I don't know if it's canonical. See, so we died, right? Everybody died, and he made that wish, and then we're in Act 2 now. And Act 2 started, and I started just a little bit of it, but it basically redid right before we came into Wonderland, and he started remembering things. Like, he had that call with Hunar that is the inciting incident for him to go to Wonderland in the first place, and he started remembering some things that he could have only known on the first act. So I'm assuming that with every loop around, basically, we are more, like, attuned. Hi, Snacks. I'm going over what happened last stream and the craziness of it. If you guys are curious, the VODs are always up. It's on YouTube as well. It was tough, but we're back. Obviously, it wasn't too tough because I'm coming back. So I said that I wanted to start every stream with going through my little theories and stuff. I don't have as many as I did yesterday, but I do have a couple, and it's more just like commentary of like listening to the VOD today. I am very mad at Iggy for leaving Genzo to die all alone. I think what hit me the most, I don't think yesterday was like the scariest stream or anything like that. I think it was like there was the emotional 1-2 punch, like one right after the other, and it was Genzo's backstory thing where he lost his eyesight and how he lost his eyesight, which is fucked. Like, actually fucked. Like, it was really hard to see that. pun not intended. Two is Genzo died, and it was awful. And because Iggy, had that flashback, he wanted to go and get a doctor for Genzo, and he just leaves him to die. And I feel like that's fucked. He should have at least waited until Genzo died, and then he could have gone off. And I get it, but I also was just like so upset. I was really upset about it. Then another note that I put was the dolls that were hanging in that forest, like they were all like noosed or whatever. They looked like, and this is me just really speculating, but it looked like what I imagine an older Sadie, like Buxley's daughter, would look like. Like, they had, like, the brown skin, like, the purple dress, like, the dark hair, and there was just a bunch of little dolls that looked like that, and it was right before you see Buxley. So for me, I feel like this baby is involved in some way, and I don't fucking know how. I don't know how that makes any sense. Like, maybe the baby grew up or something in this. I have no clue. I'm just throwing shit out there. So there's that. Orlam taking control since he had none growing up. Okay, so we got a bit of Orlam's backstory, and not really, like, there wasn't a flashback, but Genzo was talking about how Orlam's dad used to beat him and his mom killed himself, and he obviously had a really rough growing up on top of being bullied to hell and back, basically. And I'm sure there's going to be more of that to come. Can't wait. So I understand that Orlam taking control, it's sort of a powerful thing. Like, he's the villain, but I sort of like seeing him in a position of power because he obviously hasn't always had that. And even though he definitely went too far, I get it, and I buy into it and I like it. So unlike Gidget, who just, like, is basically kind of irredeemable after yesterday, but I'm gonna be very shocked to see how all these characters develop into, like, genuinely likable people, because obviously our Wonderland, obviously Wonderland is amplifying all their negative feelings, and, like, to have a negative feeling is fine, but to act on it is where, things go wrong. We all know this. And then the last two comments that I had were, the scene at the very end was just really well choreographed. I was so in shock of just, like, everything that was happening and trying to figure out, I was like, is this the end? Is this how we're ending it? That I didn't get to truly appreciate the cinematography and, like, that animation scene at the very end. And it was choreographed to the music, and the music was fucking awesome. This is much darker than anticipated. Yeah, and apparently it gets worse. Apparently that was light work. Like, that's all I've heard today from other people. It's just like, oh, you thought that was bad? Wait till you see this. Which, I mean, fair. I'm glad that they're setting me up for actually what's to come. But yeah, it was tough. I was feeling it. I was feeling it really, like, a lot. And then last, I was like, how come Genzo isn't evil? And I mean, I could say the same thing for Iggy, but, like, they also have negative shit going on in this group. So why are they not having their feelings amplified? Or is that going to happen and they're going to turn on each other? That was just a thought I had. And that's really scary, and that would be worse, honestly, if Genzo turned on us. So, I don't know what to expect. I think, in a sense, it's better just to go in with no expectations and just meet it where it is. But I like to speculate as I go on. I like to have theories. Hey, how you doing? Do you want to go by Richie? Because I'll call you Richie. How you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to join us. I just went through a bunch of theories. We're on Act 2 of Wonderland, and I am nervous, but excited. I'm glad that you had the time to stop by. And I know that you're a fan of our Wonderland, so it's really cool to have another fan, like, wait for me to get scared. Because that's what this is about. It's okay. I'm not shaming y'all. I get it. I think after I finish, I'm definitely going to watch other people react to it, because this is the kind of story that, like, you want to see first impressions of. But I think I've done enough general yapping. It's time to go into the game and yap some more. So, let's go. Just Richie is fine. I played this game in full currently, and it's good. Yeah, it's definitely very good. I'm only one act in, but I know that it's already great. And Carrot's incredible, and I've been friends with them for a while, so it's just really cool to actually sit down and play their game. Why did I press start? Why did I press start? No. Load. Silly gal. I know what I'm doing. I swear I do. Oh my gosh. Did I overwrite my... God. Okay, well, no, do not overwrite it. Load. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, you guys get to see in quick how... Is there a skip button? Give me 1 second, I'll find it. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I overrode it. Whoops! Whoopsie! It's okay, we're just gonna quickly go through. I mean, honestly, I could have just done the recap like this for all y'all that missed the end of yesterday's stream. Yeah, a lot of bad stuff happened, guys. Orlam killed Genzo, and Genzo lost his eyesight, and it was really bad. And then Iggy left him to die. See, those dolls look like what I think Sadie would look like older. I don't need any confirmation of any of my theories. I'm just throwing them out there, but... And I'm so mad at Buxley, dude. I'm like... We should probably just watch this, honestly, because it was really cool, and I didn't get to appreciate it yesterday. She's killing us! Why? Buxley is my least favorite character currently, and I say that with my whole chest. I could not stand her right now. She brought that baby here, killed that baby. Yeah, killed the baby. This music bangs really hard though. It's so good. Like, what did we do to deserve, dog? We came here for you. Me after playing Act 1 yesterday. Yeah, for real, I'd be giving it, like, immediately. So Iggy makes that wish that he wished he never existed, and then there's, like, the saddest fucking sequence ever, like, immediately after. Music is insane, and really sad. And this part just breaks my heart. He literally erases himself from other people's memories, and then he actually disappears. But we alive, so, again, I don't know. Alright, now we're caught up to where I was yesterday, which is back right before everything kind of hits the fan, so I'll just like quickly skip through that. She missed. How could she miss? I don't know, but I'm glad she did, even though it didn't really end up mattering. But and so we can call someone, and originally we were able to call Gidget, Orlam, or Genzo. Now we can only call Genzo, so let's do that. I'm sure a lot of it's going to be the same. Carrot said that a lot of scenes kind of repeat from 1 to 2, so I'll be able to kind of skip through those a little bit. But if I see something new, I'm definitely going to point it out. Oh, this seems new. Unless I'm misremembering. Goddamn, Iggs, is there blood raining from the sky? Are the mountains trembling? The moon must be about to fall if you're calling me. Very funny, I rolled my eyes. So what's up? What do you need your best pal in the universe for on this fine morn? Okay, did you... Only suddenly I hear rustling on the phone, followed by Genzo's muffled voice, shouting at somebody. I said in the back room. You think I can't hear you over here? Okay, so he's at the shop this time. Okay. Oh, this is his theme. Was this here before? Okay, well we driving. So wait, are we like reliving the past or something? We're just, yeah, I guess, not really reliving the past, it's more we're back to square one right before we went into Wonderland. So we're gonna go into Wonderland again, I'm assuming, and just no more shit I guess. It's kind of like how in the first act, Iggy would have like these gut feelings of why he should do something, and he didn't really know why he should do it, but like he just did. And I'm assuming that's carrying over even stronger for Act 2. I'm not sure if this is the first time this is played, but this is a song is associated with Genzo. Oh, okay. Then closer, back into the receiver. Jesus. Everything all right over there? I asked with a chuckle. A bit of a madhouse if you couldn't tell. New batch of parts coming in. I'm getting ready for pickup this afternoon. Already had 2 drop-offs this morning. Dang, I won't keep you then. It wasn't anything important. Just a random urge to call, I guess. Jesus, Ig, don't hype yourself up too much there. People will start asking you to run for president. Honestly, now, this year would be the year, Iggy. Another rustle. He seems to have moved the phone to his opposite ear. Tell you what, you come down to the shop, we'll have a proper convo. Beers and everything. As soon as I'm done with it— oh, okay, it's a date. But I stopped myself. Swallow the usual excuse I give whenever anyone asks me to do anything. I close my eyes for a moment and take a breath. You know what? Sure. I'll be over in a bit. Aw, character development. Hot diggity damn! I hear over the receiver before what sounds like the phone falling to the ground in a string of curses. Honestly, Iggy is so me. Iggy is a lot of people. He's definitely not me. I definitely identify a lot more with Genzo, I think. Because, you know, obnoxious. But, hey, that's what keeps the world's balance, baby. Genzo's shop is over in the downtown area, a good 15 minutes walk from Brookside. Though my favorite so far is the music when Iggy spoke with Gidget and the one where they have flashbacks. Damn, you just got it. Okay. Oh, my bad. Engaging with chat makes me press forward. Then again, most places are a good 15 minutes walk from Brookside. Either that or I just have a really bad sense of time. The little bell above the door rings as I step inside, where I'm quickly met with a scent of grease and metal and what smells faintly like damp wood chips. That actually sounds dope. Genzo's head pops up from behind the far counter so fast he hits his skull on the overhead shelves. Oh, God, fuck. He grimaces and pushes himself to his feet, one hand to the back of his head. That was graceful, I say with a laugh. Okay, don't be mean, Iggy. To be fair, he would do the same in our position. Oh, Iggs, his normal smile returns. That was quicker than expected. One hand up to trace the side of the counter. He tools around to the front, then immediately shoots his arm out. Put her here! Guess I figured I should come over before I talked myself out of it. Oh, this feels so good after the ending of last arc. Granted, it's all gonna come crashing down again, but you know, we get to enjoy it while it lasts. When I found out he was Ace, I was like, yee, a fellow Ace, if you got that optimistic sass, yes. Does Iggy remember all the stuff that just happened? He remembers, like, he gets just gut feelings. He doesn't really remember it. Like, he can't just, like, recall it like a memory. But every once in a while, he'll, like, have, like, this instinct. He's like, oh, that's Hunar that's calling me. Even though he would have no reason to know that. Unless he was, you know, what happened last time, basically. I lean forward towards his shoulder, and he brings his arm around my middle in a hug that crushes me against his belly. Hey, acceptance is the first step towards recovery, am I right or am I right? He laughs and gives me a final squeeze. When I pull back, some of the grease smudges from his cheeks and neck relocate themselves onto my clothes. I glance around, checking out the displays of newly repaired bikes waiting for their new homes like dogs at a shelter. A lot of work today then, huh? Tell me about it. Was just about to double check the new invoices on the old number cruncher. Come on. He gestures and heads towards the entryway into the back shop, hands searching out key landmarks along the way. The smell is even stronger in the back. A half-finished bicycle lies in the middle of the floor, and past it I see a large tool bench, everything neat and tidy and perfectly in its place. There's a pile of boxes in the corner, one of them already open, and the gleam of dirty silver peeking out. Genzo turns away from the shop proper and into a small office complete with desk, computer printer, and slowly twirling overhead fan. There's something about the colors that makes it look like something straight out of the 70s, and the floor-to-ceiling wood paneling on the walls doesn't help. I can't help but wonder if this place was like this when Genzo bought it. I like that little plushie or whatever that thing is, that weird-ass Shrek blob thing. I like it, I want one. Genzo slumps down in the orange leather computer chair and spins towards the monitor. Damn, order was supposed to come yesterday. But what can you do? Service these days. He hits a key on the keyboard and the speakers crackle to life with start window, search box, edit, type here to search. Oh, because he's blind. Yeah. I'm loving seeing this though, just him in like his natural environment. Like, this is awesome. A couple more key flicks and a spreadsheet opens up on the screen with 2 columns of numbers. He begins tabbing through them, listening to the name of each item followed by the amount of prices. That's gotta be so annoying. I take this opportunity to glance around silently. My great uncle was blind, and I spent a lot of time with him growing up. And he had so many tricks for like every little mundanity in his entire life. And like he was very optimistic about it, and I think that's why I really like Genzo a lot, which is kind of making me like, not tear up, but like my heart swells a little bit just at the thought of it, you know? And I think I like really like Genzo for that reason, because he shows a strength in times where a lot of people would be really down and out. And I think that's a beautiful thing, like genuinely. The end of a phone charger sticks up. There's a little like sadness in my voice. The end of a phone charger sticks up through a round hole in the turned up wood veneer. A couple of empty granola bars wrappers sit beneath the monitor. A black-boarded clock on a wall ticks away. What's most surprising, to the extent that I pull a double take upon seeing it, is the small, lumpy figure slouched over just past the keyboard. Yes! Okay! What is this thing? It's been hacked together from green and blue swatches of fabric and filled with beans, giving it a humorously oblong shape. And its eyes have been fashioned from 2 black buttons. Checkers. Checkers and Oswald. God damn it. That doesn't take me back. God damn if that doesn't take me back. Oh my god! Okay, I love the flashbacks. Every time a flashback comes up, I'm like, I'm buckled in. Genzo reminds me of my Uncle Kevin. He's really cool and chill about a lot of things. I love that. Not Orlum. Genzo is so uncle coded, it's insane. Like, even if he doesn't have a niece or a nephew, like, he's uncle coded. We made them in home ec class in junior high. The unit where everyone had to practice sewing and all the guys got really immature about it and made random things from our fabric rather than the recommended pillow or tote bag. Yeah, that sounds about right. And Genzo and I had made Checkers and Oswald. Oh, they're friends! 2 partners in oh no, they're partners. Off on missions, most perilous. We've both gotten C's in that unit. I can barely keep the chuckle from my lips as I think back. I'd given Checkers to Genzo afterward, and he'd given me Oswald. Oh my god! Guys, this hurts! Like, things are good, but I'm hurting. Where had he gone, I frowned. Now I can't remember. At my folks' house still, maybe. Or sold it. No! No! I cringed. Now I feel guilty. That's the worst. A sudden crack jerks me out of my thoughts, and I turn to see Genzo slapping the keyboard down against the desk. Goddamn thing. I look at the screen. The speakers have gone quiet, and the cursor seems to be frozen in place. Look at this. Can't even open a goddamn spreadsheet. Crying out loud. Piece of junk. Smack it around. Yeah, another slap at the keyboard. He frowns. Whatever. He should have emailed it too. Wait, check this out. You're gonna love this. Technology is great. Wait, the switch! He yanks his phone out of his pocket and brings it just below his chin. Hey, Dougal. Read my email. A sprightly male British voice springs forth from the speaker. No prob- I can't do a British accent, I'm not gonna fucking do it. I thought about it. No problem, you have 2 emails. First email, Wall Blue Pharmacy reminder. Your prescription, number 92871. Bupropion HCI, 150 milligrams. Stop reading, stop reading! Genzo jabs at the power button on the phone until the voice stops. He laughs and bites down on his lip. Bupropion, or whatever that word is. I raise a brow. Isn't that an Then realize what I'm saying and let the words die on my lips. Genzo grins sheepishly and turns his head away. There's nothing to be ashamed of, guy! Hey, I mean, you know how it is. A laugh. Sometimes the nights get kinda long. Yeah, I can only imagine. Is it Wellbutrin? I don't even know the names. I'm on an antidepressant, but it's not that one, so I'm like, I don't know what that is. It's probably just the most common one as well. I press my lips together, suddenly very happy that Genzo can't see the look on my face, nor the stone tumbling around in my gut. Anyway, what the fuck are we just sitting around here for? Come on, there's a half-finished velocipede out there that needs a little TLC from yours truly before its proud parents come back this afternoon. Lend me a hand? Sure, no problem. I take a step back as Genzo maneuvers from the desk and the back to the door of the shop. He pauses only momentarily to slap the top frame of the door on its way out. He's such a boy! I love that! No matter how old they get, he's just boy. Oh, interesting. It's also used for smoking. Oh! That makes sense. Okay. So is he trying to quit? It's been a long time since I've watched Genzo's work, and it's still as impressive now as it was back then. It's moments like these that I'm glad that I'm streaming this, because it's like if I was playing this on my own, I'm like, don't know what that means, I guess I'll never know. Just keep playing. His hands barely need to touch the frame before his fingers find what they're looking for. Then it's a twist here, a tug there. All the parts he needs laid out in a circle around his little stool, ready to be changed out, popped into place, dents hammered out, spokes unbent, broken chairs replaced. Every tool he needs is in his customary place on his apron, ready to be slipped out at a moment's notice, held fast between his lips as he's really incredible. Genuinely, this is like awesome. I couldn't do this with 10 eyes. He has me hold the one-wheeled frame to keep it from falling, though I'm sure it's only to give me something to do and to not feel completely useless. Then he sends me to the new boxes of parts to find what he calls a derailleur, of which I'm only able to find after he tells me to look for the mechanical seahorse. Once the new chain is back on, it's time for the frontal wheel, so then it's my job to hold it again, despite the bike stand sitting right next to us and seemingly primed for the exact purpose. Nothing like the human touch, Genzo assures me, and gives my knee a motivating pat through the frame. By this point, both of our faces and hands are streaked with grease. Genzo's from actually getting up close and personal with the feisty two-wheeler. Mine because I forgot about the grease on my hands and gave my face a big old swipe to assuage a tingling itch on my nose. The wheel goes on easily and the chain connected. A few pumps of air into the tires lands to the final touch, then the bike is good to go. Standing tall and proud, Genzo takes a rag to the frame, wiping away any potential grease stains that may have been left behind. Take her for a test spin? He stands up, turning the rag to his own hands. Can't really do the honors myself. I look down at the bike, then up at Genzo. I haven't stepped foot on a bike in years. I mean, sure, okay. I'm not sure that's a good idea. It's definitely okay. Just do it. It's fine. I mean, sure, okay. I throw a hesitant leg over the frame and position myself in the saddle, feet rising up on their toes. The handlebars feel sticky beneath my sweaty palms. I'm not really, good at this, though. Good at riding a bike? I wobble forward, wheels spinning first left, then right, then back to the left. I feel it tipping, but can't do anything. Iggy, please. With a helpless, oh no, the two of us go down, how? Because it just laughs as I let out a groan. Slow down there, Lance, only to fix it again at this rate. Not sure I'm the best partner to have in the shop. I pull myself back to my feet and lug the bike back with me. Nah, you're great. Wouldn't change a thing about you. God. There's something about the words that gives me pause, and I feel tendrils of heat lap at my cheeks. But it's a comforting feeling rather than an awkward one. That kind that loosens the muscles on my shoulders and untwists my bowels. That... homie. Anyway, what do we do now? You said they're gonna pick it up later? Yeah, sometime this afternoon. He palms his phone. Hey Dougal, what time is it? It is 2:34 p.m. We probably got some time then. Help me lug this thing up front and then we can kick things back with some beers. I wheel the bike into the frontal area as Genzo cleans up the leftover parts and scraps. The newly restored frame gleams next to its sibling beneath the fluorescent light. Back here, Eggs, Genzo calls as I start back, and I see him scrounging around in a small fridge at the back of the shop. He pulls 2 beers out from the bottom shelf. Convenient, I muse on my approach. Isn't it, though? Genzo laughs. It's great being your own boss sometimes. He reaches towards the wall and feels for the nearby handle, tugging open the door to the back patio. Oh, this is cute. The sun is high up in the sky by this point, but our little area is shaded, looking out across the small wooden area behind the development. Genzo kicks his foot out to locate the lawn chair that's clearly seen its fair share of use before sinking down into it with a sigh. He gestures towards the other side of the door. There should be another one over there. I find it, as promised, folded up against the wall and carry it over to join him. Genzo pops open his beer, takes a sip, collapses his legs out in front of himself. I follow suit. There's a wonderful little breeze whistling through the trees and playing with my curls. For just a second, I meant to point that out. I like that most of the characters have curls. We love appropriation. That is not the word I was... appreciation in this house. For just a second, I'm back in grade school, and Genzo and I have just come back from an expedition in the woods, feasting on our well-earned spoils of orange soda and ice pops. Genzo scrounges around in his pockets before pulling out a pack of cigarettes. He brings one to his lips, lights it with a flick of his lighter, then sits back and takes a long, slow drag before blowing a stream of smoke into the air. So, when are you and Gidge getting together, huh? He asks out of the blue. Oh, okay. The question catches me off guard and I nearly choke on my beer. What? Genzo just shrugs and laughs, the cigarette bouncing between his lips. Always figured it was an inevitability myself, just didn't know when. Oh, is he like defeatist? I mean, I don't... I run a hand through my hair, nails scratching at my scalp. I've never really thought about it. Never? Genzo raises a brow. I don't know, maybe, but I don't know. My knee is bouncing like a jackhammer. Genzo is quiet, head pointed lazily skyward. He takes a sip from his beer and taps the ash off the end of his cigarette. Didn't know it was such a touchy subject, he finally says with a grin. It's not, I don't think about that type of stuff often. Genzo turns towards me. I can practically see him blinking in amused interest beneath his sunglasses. You're a bit of an odd duck, you know that, Iggs? Oh, and you're a portrait of normalcy? I cracked. Ha! This elicits a laugh. I suppose you got a point there. He slapped his stomach. At least I got this old belly of mine to keep me company in my ripe old age. It's the only thing that can put up with my quirks. I frown. My mind goes back to the night prior, to what Orlam said, and what Genzo had seemed pretty adamant on avoiding. I rubbed the mouth of my beer across my lips absentmindedly. Oh, this is calling back to the barbecue when he was like, oh, Genzo, interested in girls? Ha ha! You know, I finally say, letting the silence stretch just a few more moments. You can always tell me anything, right? If you want to, of course. Genzo is quiet. His head is pointed towards the trees now, and he's got a cigarette perched on the end of his lips. Up, down, he wiggles it back and forth. He finally grabs it between his fingers, cocking it out on an angle as he blows a plume of smoke. I'll tell you. I'll tell you once you've gotten yourself hitched, and you've popped out 2.5 kids, and a white picket fence to corral them. How about that? What does .5 kids mean? Then we'll be able to have ourselves a good laugh about it. I don't say anything. Or, and hear me out, he continues. You get yourself good and famous, you know, churning out hit games, and you get yourself a big old apartment in New York City with 5, 6 lovely ladies at your beck and call. Whichever comes first. Those are some high demands. Hey, I expect a lot out of you. What can I say? Goodness, my heart is breaking for... I know. Hey, I expect a lot out of you. What can I say? Clearly. The silence returns and we sit there, sipping on our beers, taking in the breeze, listening to the birds somewhere up in the trees. Bars. It's nice. Like, equivalent to being at home by myself nice. Not sapping me of energy nice. Being around the right people when you're an introvert is just as fueling as being by yourself. Not demanding or expecting anything of me as nice, just feeling at ease. Genzo reaches over, feels for my shoulder, gives it a squeeze. Hey, thanks for coming over, you know? I return his squeeze with a squeeze of my own, wrapping my fingers around his knuckles. I hold it for perhaps a moment too long. Of course. Never a moment too long. Never. I get back to my apartment a bit before dinner time, and despite the fatigue tugging at my mental muscles, somehow I feel, I don't know, lighter, my head a bit clearer. I even feel myself smiling as I think about the evening ahead and how much work I still have left to do. I order myself beef and broccoli from the little Chinese place a few blocks. I think this one's repeating from. I can still catch up. But instead of him just like doing other bullshit, he was able to actually hang out with Genzo before they leave. That's cool. I'll call tomorrow. It's definitely not fine, and you should call right now. But this is when they head into the woods. They meet each other. Yeah. Oh no, his dream. And then they head into the woods. There's a giant... Ooh! Is this new? Is there a giant gate at the far end? Though I'm not even sure if the gate is the right word. More like a barrier warped and out of trees. There's a lock on it. And as I let my fingers trace the round curves, the voice returns. Open it. Sure. Open it. Open it how? I glance down and find I'm holding a doll. Is it the same as that purple doll we saw in there? Its button eyes stare up at me vacantly. Its long hair fall... It sounds like it. I look back at the lock. Only it's no longer a lock. It's a heart. Like an actual heart? Beep, beep, beep. It sounds like it. I try to take a step back, but something's grabbed my hand. A tiny set of fingers. I'm too scared to look, but I have to. I have to know. Is it just little Iggy? I start to turn my head, only for the voice to whisper right next to my ear. Please kill me, Iggy. I gasp and... That's cool that the dream extended a bit, so we got to see more. Granted, it raises more questions than it answers, but that's fine. I wait a few minutes for my sense of reality to return before shaking my head and climbing out of bed. It's late, far later than I usually wake up, and as I'm taking my first sip of coffee, I remember Hunar. Worry bubbles up somewhere around my diaphragm. I should call. His number's still the last one. Tries to call, nothing happens. I gnaw at the inside of my cheek. The bubbles of worry are starting to turn into a froth. It's back to work. I try to focus, to concentrate on my work, but even the thought of the looming deadline isn't enough to keep my thoughts from straying. First to Hunar and the way his voice had quaked on the phone, then to Bucks and the way her voice had crackled with anger during their argument, then for some reason to Genzo, to the way his voice sounds when he says my name. Oh! That's beautiful, man. Comforting, like being wrapped in a warm blanket. All these different voices. I shake my head. This isn't the time to be daydreaming. I need to get this fucking thing done. I get in a few good hours, but I'm not particularly confident it's my best day's work. I'll probably need to go back through everything tomorrow just in case. I try calling Hunar again later that afternoon, but there's still no answer, which only agitates the gurgle of unease, turning my bowels further. It's even affecting my appetite at this point. Nothing sounds good. Nothing healthy, at least. So I simply reach for some of the half-eaten snacks in my pantry. Night falls along with my motivation. I'm past the point of even trying to divert my attention. I sit at the window and watch Mrs. Donish make her third trip to get to the mailbox that day, then retreat to... I don't know why I found that funny. Then retreat to my bed, figuring I'll play some music and try to relax, get an early night's sleep. Tomorrow should have some answers. But even my normal beats only serve to make my nerves dance to different patterns. I cover my head with my pillow, lie with my feet at the head of the bed, move to the floor, move to the chair in the living room. I sit there for a while, in the dark, just staring at the wall like an insomniac. Then at some point my gaze falls. My messenger bag is still slumped on the floor. Oh, is he going to leave now instead of sleeping? From where I tossed it the other night, and in the split second before my eyes focus on it, I swear I see it move. Your bag? You... What the... I blink, glance nervously around the dark apartment, but it's empty. Of course it's empty. Fuck, I'm really starting to lose it. I need to get out, get some fresh air, clear my head. I push myself up out of the chair with a little wobble and grab my keys, then step outside. The breeze feels refreshing out on my cheeks, and when I take a deep breath, it curls up in my lungs like a giant whiff of menthol. Maybe I've just been cooped up too long. I start down the sidewalk, my steps disguised by the hum of the cicadas. Past the neighboring apartment complexes. This is about the same as well. I curl my arms around my chest. Why did I glance around? Why did I walk all the way out here? You're being summoned. And honestly, if my bag moved in the middle of the night, I'd be fucking walking out of there too. Hell no. My heart leaps in my throat and I throw my arms up with a squawk. Who's there? Cripes in a handbag about scared the bejesus. Okay, this is about the same too. I didn't know if the dialogue would change here. It's Genzo, just Genzo. Hey, not just Genzo. He reaches out. Oh, this is due? My bad. I'm sorry. If I accidentally skip over things, it's hard to know what things are the same and what things are different. Somehow the orange tint of his hat in the darkness feels incredibly comforting all of a sudden. He reaches out with his cane to find me, then gives me a couple of crisp whaps on the ass to usher me closer. Okay, rude. Damn, Iggs, I've seen more of you these last few days than I have in the last year. Oh, that's sad. I'd almost think you were stalking me, except that I know, well, you. Did being in my presence suddenly spark a deep, unyielding need for an inappropriately timed drollery? I don't know that word. You wish. What are you even doing out here? Could ask you the same thing. I scratched the back of my neck, shuffled my feet. I mean, you know, was just taking a walk. Same. Couldn't sleep? Nah. I like that this is the same dialogue as before, like some of it is, but now there's a CG added to it, so like that's really cool that we're like filling in some of the gaps from the first time. A strange chill begins creeping up my spine. I wonder if Genzo had the same urge to get out of the house as I had. He definitely did. You were going there, were you? I guess. I mean, I wasn't really thinking about it. Me neither. You don't think. I don't know. Guess we won't know if we don't check. Yeah. Let's go then. Lead the way. This creepy ass... Are we gonna fall this time, or are we just gonna jump in? That's what I want to know. If we fall, come on, Iggy. Do better. We hear ya. The biggest tree in the forest. It's based like a giant boulder choked with winding roots. Yep. Gonna go and see what my friends are up to. Hopefully I'll catch another stream of yours. No problem. Have a good time with your friends. And the streams are always up, like the VODs, and they're also on YouTube. So have a good time. Jesus. Yeah. Take a drink every time Genzo says Jesus. I don't want to like even push control either because I feel like it's just gonna breeze past like a bunch of shit I haven't seen. Okay, this feels new. I glance over at Genzo. Are you getting the weirdest sense of deja vu, or is it just me? No, it's definitely me too. What do you mean? I mean, like we did this before, the two of us. I think I'd remember if we'd taken a romantic midnight stroll in the woods before, Iggs. I roll my eyes. Whatever, it's probably nothing. This whole situation is just weirding me out. I expect another smart retort from Genzo. Something about how normal life is enough to weird me out, but there's nothing. And when I glance over, he's just standing there, face grim and jaw tight. Is he also experiencing it? Because I didn't even think about that. You okay? What? Oh yeah, it just felt really hot real hot all of a sudden. Must be going through menopause. I cock a brow but turn back towards the hole all the same. What do you think then? Should we go in? My voice hitches. Somehow I feel like we don't have much choice. I move forwards towards the hole, popping a squat amongst the weeds. Also, anytime that horror authors play into deja vu, it freaks me out because normal deja vu just freaks me out, so this is fun. There's the scent again. Soft, sweet, yeah, like a candy store. We're sure it's not just a possum hole? Wouldn't that be like hilarious, but it's like hilar. Genzo from behind. I can't tell if he's joking. I turn my head back to look. Yep, and he just falls again. Alright, cool, Icky. Maybe next time. Maybe in the 3rd or 4th act we won't fall. You goober. On and on and on. Falling down. It's welcoming me back. I reach out, almost expecting something to grab my hand, but there's nothing. Nothing and no one. And all at once I feel incredibly alone. Iggy. I look around. Where's that coming from? It feels like it's coming from everywhere and nowhere at all. What do you want, Iggy? What are we gonna wish for this time? Wait, are we gonna make a wish this time even though we didn't make one last time? I'm gonna vote for no, but, you know, that'd be cool. What do I want? What kind of question is that? What do you wish for more than anything else in the whole world? I don't know. I think about my life. Think about my apartment in Brookside. Think about my friends, Bucks and Hunar, Gidgen and Orlam, Genzo. I clench my eyes shut tighter. My heart feels confused, like it wants something, but it doesn't even know what. And somehow that thought is so terrifying that it would rather just not want it at all. I don't know. I don't know what I want. My fingers are starting to tingle. First tiny nibbles of numbness, then building in incessant zaps of electricity. Up, my arms they go, growing and growing into my chest, into my stomach, shooting down into my legs, and loud, so loud I can't hear, can't think. Just when I think I can't take it anymore. Okay, so that time he wasn't like... That was interesting, because he was like... The first time he was like, oh, well, I don't have any wish at all. I don't wish for anything. And then this time he was like, well, I feel like I want something, but I don't know what it is. So with every time, are we going to figure that out? Because I feel like that contributes to Iggy's, like, character arc of, like... Obviously, he wished himself out of existence, so he feels like his purpose in the world is literally pointless. So hopefully he gains some sort of, like... Not that purpose in life. That's what I'm trying to say. My lips curl into my... Oh. As long as that voice keeps saying my name. Oh. My lips curl into a smile as I try to turn over and drift back off into nothingness. Just 5 more minutes. For fuck's sake, Iggs, you're gonna get yourself buried in there. There's so many, like, it's crazy that, like, it's the same scene, but, like, little itty bitty, like, adds a lot more context to this scene or gives it more oomph. Which is the last thing I need because the original scenes already had enough and already made me hurt enough. Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello. Genzo, we fell through the hole. Very good, Iggy. We did fall through the hole. And then he says that silly thing. He's just like, yeah, now we're at the bottom of the hole. Yeah, alright. But we did we really? Starshine is adorable. My gaze wanders to the rest of the room. It's somehow just like how I remembered it. The warm grain of the hardwood floors. Yeah, this is about the same as all. This is some grade A fucked up shit is what this is. But hey, what else is new? Am I right or am I right? The sun snaps me out of my wonderment, and I turn back to Genzo, who's currently testing out the stability of one of the chairs. I only realize at that moment he's not wearing his sunglasses. And he turns to look at me. Like, at me. His dark brown eyes dilating just slightly as he focus shifts. He didn't talk about his eyes last time. Alright. Okay, Iggy. Fuck, Genzo, I rub at the back of my head with the wince. Yeah. You mean you can What do you want me to do? I wasn't gonna lie. I gnaw on my top lip. I can't stop staring. The weirdest feeling is curling up around my heart. A mixture of guilt and something else. Worry? Embarrassment? Genzo scowls and jerks his head away. What am I, the new exhibit at the Louvre? Cut that out already! He adjusts his cap in obvious discomfort. Oh, besides, it's not like this is permanent. Yeah, but still, you mean you're not even at all? Oh yeah, I had my obligatory teary-eyed moment, cradled you in my arms as I wept like a fucking baby. Somebody even started playing I Can See Clearly Now. That's a different line too. Loudly. On a recorder. Straight into my ear. But fuck that. I'm not gonna let myself get separated from reality, and I'm sure as hell not staying here any longer than we need to. This is wrong, all of it. We're not supposed to be here. I finally pull my gaze away, attention returning to our quaint surroundings and the nostalgic smell of spice curling up inside my nasal cavity. I bring a hand up to my hair, trying to calm the errant curls. I'm suddenly feeling very self-conscious about how I look. Can't argue with that. Somehow I don't know, it's like looking behind the curtains at something I'm not supposed to see. I will say though, Eggs, you turn out exactly how I always pictured in my mind. If I get a choice this time, I'm gonna insult his ass, because last time I didn't and he was like, well, I thought you were bigger and badder than that. This time I am. This shoots my head up. Oh, how's that? Like a loser. You fucker. Oh, he just responds without me this time. Okay. I jump at him before I can stop myself, hands grabbing at the collar of his jacket. He laughs. Then just as quickly as I'd come rushing over, throws me down and pins me to the floor. Okay. My head rings from the impact. Damn, I haven't been able to do that in a while. Genzo's grin goes from ear to ear. I push fruitlessly against his shoulder. Because it was something I sorely missed, I say with a roll of my eyes. I love their dynamic. I like that Iggy kind of gives it back more than I thought he would. I thought he would be more like, ooh, woo, shy. But he's not really. He just has social anxiety. But he doesn't like that either. He's kind of pessimistic about it. He stays there for a moment, just looking down at me. Okay, now you're just weirding me out. At least take me out to dinner first. Now we're gonna flirt! If we get any chance, I need some joy. I need some joy. We're flirting with Genzo. Fuck that. Fuck it. I don't even care if it's joke, quote unquote. Not about to let myself loose in the battle of snark, I spit out the best retort I can come up with on the spot. Take me out to dinner! Hey, yo! You know, you could at least take me out to dinner first before throwing yourself at me. Genzo blinks. I see his pupils suddenly dilate. Then he jerks his hand away as though he's just touched a hot poker. He hits back with a cough. Jokes are just as bad as always, I see. Yeah, alright. Cover it up. He says with a laugh. We got his ass. Hey, you wouldn't have me any other way. Am I right or am I right? I follow up doing my best impersonation of him that I can. Oh! I'm thriving right now. I'm having a great time. Things are gonna go bad. We're like finding out that we're really liking him this time, so you know, anything that does happen is gonna be worse. I can't wait. I give his shoulder a playful punch. Yeah. Genzo just rubs at the back of his neck, his eyes somewhat strained. He looks away, turning his attention back to the room. Things will go bad, but right now flirting. That's exactly where, look, you know, I know what's gonna happen. Well, I don't know what's gonna happen. I know things are gonna go bad. I just know it. But I'm gonna enjoy myself while I can. I really am. I'm gonna indulge. Then laughs. Damn, all the memories though. He pushes himself up to his feet. Remember the first time when we had no idea how to get back? So we all just piled into the bed because we were so fucking exhausted. I throw a glance at the bed in question before following suit. It looks so small now, but back then it had fit all 5 of us. Well, mostly. Pretty sure I kicked Orlum off. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's true though. The more I look around, the more comes back. So they left Wonderland by just all simultaneously falling asleep? Because that was one of the questions I had at the very end. I was like, how the fuck did they even get out of it the first time? You know? That's really funny, actually. Starting out as nothing more than flickering images, then like snowballs rolling themselves into full-fledged memories. Then 5 of us, huddled together beneath the blankets, tired and scared and unsure how we were going to get home, only to wake up the next morning back in our own beds as though nothing had happened. And then later that day, we'd all been too scared to say a thing, just sitting there picking at our food, silent as the grave at lunch, until Genzo had popped the question we'd all been waiting for, and it'd been like the floodgates had gone off. All of us laughing, recounting our adventures, excitedly planning when to go back again. The thought of it brings a smile to my face, and I let my thumb trace over the brown curve of the bottom bedpost. You think the rest of those fuckers are here then? They definitely are, and I know it this time. Genzo says it so... Unless... No, we're just gonna say they're here again. Genzo says it so softly, I'm not even sure he's talking to me at first. I turn away from the bed to find him investigating the kettle. He pokes it with his finger. then immediately pulls it away with a wince, bringing the tip of his finger to his mouth. Oh, I don't know, but somehow it feels like... But before I can finish my aimless thought, the sound of footsteps cuts me off. It's those fucking rabbits. Alright, what are they gonna do this time? Something probably even more awful. Almost like I'm watching a scary movie. I know there's a scare coming. Hell yeah! I lick my lips, tighten my fingers around the sill, and then they come. 2 by 2, they round the corner. Maybe we can save the rabbit this time! Spears swinging in sync, I hear Genzo's breath hitch next to me, but neither of us say a word. Somehow it's like we were both expecting this. The rabbit in the lead comes in an abrupt halt. His ears are standing straight up, he spins around. The dread in my gut is building. I can feel myself starting to sweat. Where is he? Where is he? The high-pitched squawk rattles the window pane. No. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. The other rabbits seem confused. They remain quiet. Let's just throw something out the window and run, and then it'll divert, and we'll save the bunny, and then boom! Butterfly effect, and everything's saved. Sentry 218, you overgrown rodents. Oh, the rabbit in question plunges and steps back, thud, thud, thud. Each impact of the lead rabbit's boots on the hard earth makes the walls of our small cottage shake as he storms the back of the rank. His next words are screeched less than an inch from the lone soldier's fidgeting nose. I thought I told you to keep that buck in line, Sentry. A pause. He grabs the other rabbit's ear. 104? He lets go of the ear. So tell me then, where is 218? It's at that point I pull away from the window. Oh, I slam my back to the wall. I don't want to watch. I know what's gonna happen. I don't know how I know. I somehow just know. You okay, Iggs? I'm fine, except I don't know what to say. Don't know how to explain it. The overwhelming sense of dread currently paralyzing my body. Genzo watches me for a second, not saying anything, then returns his gaze to the window. I see him wince, twitch. But when his eyes start to bug out of his head, I quickly twist away. Hands tied around my ears, I stare at the far wall, stare at the pattern on the bed sheets. I try to summon the mental image again, of all of us in the bed, cozy and warm. Someone's tucking us in, reading us a story, kissing our heads. In my head, I glance up to see a pair of long droopy ears. Fuck. This jolts me back to reality and the rabbits outside. I glance up just as Genzo's face goes completely white. Jesus. I wait another second. Then, are they gone? Yeah, they're leaving. I let out the breath I hadn't even realized I'd been holding and slump away from the wall. At least we don't have to watch the death scene again, I guess. Good call looking away, Iggs. I'm definitely gonna have to see a therapist about what I just saw in 4 or 5 years. What happened down there? I finally managed. Something that wasn't supposed to, that's for sure. He throws another glance at the window. We're really going out there then? Well, I know which way we're not going, if it gives us a choice. I mean, do we really have a choice? All this feels like... I bring a hand up wistfully. Like everything's made up and the points don't matter? What are you saying, Genzo? I shoot Genzo a dirty look. Hey, my life is basically an improvised tragicomedy already. How much worse could it get? Do not say that! I'm gonna shoot every person who says this. Stop saying that! I don't respond, but something churning in my gut tells me it's about to get worse. Yeah, same. A lot worse. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it? I was just trying to enjoy some flirting, goddammit! It's fine. God damn. Yeah, the two of us looked down at the dead body of Sentry 104 that we didn't save for some reason. That better happen. I got one hand over my mouth and I'm trying my best not to gag. That was one hell of a nasty wallop. Genzo grimaces. A pause. A real clunker. Another pause. I mean, that really must have hurt. And another. Just look at the way his brain is squirting up. Why are you describing this? Between the cracks in his skull. Genzo, your commentary is not appreciated. But mine is, because it's my stream. Let's be honest. When is it ever? Okay, I relate, but also... Stop. I ignore him, glance, and instead at our surroundings. My stomach still turning flip-flops. There's no sign of the battalion now. They've disappeared somewhere amongst the trees further down the left path. Not the right feels any more promising. I follow it with my gaze. Maybe we should just go up or down? I follow it with my gaze as it winds around a pair of crooked trees before disappearing behind an upraised mound of meadow grass. Genzo tugs his cap back over his tousled hair. Which way then? Actually, scratch that. Decision seems pretty clear to me. We're going right. Don't know what it is, but somehow even thinking about going the other way is giving me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know about you. I gnaw on my lip and glance back to the left. He's not wrong. The longer I gaze back down the path, the more tiny pinpricks of anxiety run up my spine. I bring a hand to my stomach, half expecting to see a nice big hole running through it. I swallow hard. Yeah, I think that's for the best. This is really interesting. I'm loving this. It's quiet as we walk. The tall clusters of fiery red quarter. So... Fuck that tomato guy. If I see him, I'm kicking him, like, immediately. Above us, the sky glitters a sunny orange, and on either side, strange flowers of blue. Yeah. Oh, right, I forgot to ask. Genzo hands, what did you wish for? Yeah. I blink, frown. My thoughts go back to that voice, that feeling of emptiness as I fell through that hole, and the confusion, the uncertainty, and maybe even the tiniest twinge of fear? Fear. What am I afraid of? I shake my head to clear the thoughts. What aren't you afraid of is an easier question. Nothing, I finally say. Nothing? I look away, force a shrug. Guess I, couldn't think of anything. Damn, guess you got it made, huh? Genzo laughs. I don't respond. I chew on the inside of my cheek and glance over at Genzo. I still haven't gotten used to seeing him without his sunglasses, walking like that, looking at me. A part of me is nervous about it. Nervous about what it could do to him, having to go back to reality after this. Nervous that he might actually want to stay here. Somehow, I don't know. I can't possibly feel what he's feeling right now, so I have no idea what's going on in his head. There's another part of me feels happy, being able to look into his eyes, knowing that he sees me. Why would that make me happy? I don't know. What, that he sees what I look like now and didn't go running for the hills, didn't start treating me differently, still smiles at me? Somehow that smile, it's like that little squeeze he gave my shoulder only the day before, warm and reassuring, non-judgmental. We round another corner, and this time the path opens up into a small clearing. An outcropping of rocks overlooks a small pond at the other end. From its peak flows a miniature waterfall, light reflecting off the steady drizzle. I guess I didn't think about if you're a person who is very anxious about just everything, really, but like even your own appearance, being around somebody who's blind actually might be kind of comforting because you don't have to worry about how you look. That's kind of a really interesting little detail. Only to gasp and step back. Wait a minute. This exact pond. I know this pond. Fuck, it's happening again. What is it, Iggs? I mean, you might as well just tell him. It's just... That's when I see it. The rabbit soldier coming around the corner. Fuck. I take a step backwards, then another, then quickly twist on my heels and slam straight into Genzo. For one fleeting moment, he somehow keeps his balance. Then his feet twist beneath him. Oh, and they go tumbling. He goes down. The sound of him hitting the ground sends the rabbit's ears skyward. His head jerks in our direction. Who's there? His spear is already at the ready. Shit. Genzo scrambles back to his feet. I'm sorry, I sputter with a flustered wave in my hand. You're apologizing now? With the murder rabbit breathing down our necks? He's got a point. I turn to see the rabbit staring straight at us, and I swear I see the tip of the spear glint. Genzo grabs my arm and pulls me behind him. The rabbit cocks his head first to the left, then to the right. His eye twitches, then widens. You're the fellow that King told us to watch out for, he chuckles, laughs, licks his lips. I'll get a promotion for sure if I bring you in. Fresh meat for weeks, no more of that slop. He readjusts his grip on his spear. Is this the same? Yeah, it's feeling like it. Push Genzo out of the way or run? Okay, well, I feel like this is an easy choice, but gotta get used to saving. We're pushing Genzo out of the way. If we die saving Genzo, it was worth it. There's no way I'm just leaving him here. I dig my heels into the ground to stop my backward motion, then redirect myself forward. I'll only have a second. 1 second. I go careening towards him with every... Are we gonna save him all the time this time around? Instead of him saving us all the time last time? That's really sweet. Towards him with everything I have, hands outstretched, and I only just make out him turning towards me in surprise before my palms hit his shoulder. There's a barely audible oomph. Then he goes rocking backwards, half stumbling to the ground. I'm allowed a half second of victory. Then with a gut-jolting rip, the rabbit spear goes on one side of me and... Oh. Yeah, real. But you know what? Worth it, and also would not be a joy stream if we didn't pick the wrong choice first. We're really good at doing that. And let's just keep it going. The lead of the spear sticks out somewhere by my left kidney. How do you know? Dripping bits of goo and tissue onto the ground. And Genzo's just standing there, and now we've traumatized him with his new sight, staring at me. His face has gone white. Iggy. He brings a shaky hand up, eyes trembling out of their sockets. Off to my side, then the rabbit snorts. You're not the one I wanted. Then he swings the spear hard. The momentum sends me flying off the end, whirling and spinning until I land with a crack against the side of the tree, my glasses bouncing off my nose. I sink to the ground. R.I.P. Iggy! There's a puddle forming around me, a thick, gooey one, blood leaking out from both sides at me at a double-ended faucet. Nice. I hear a shout. Genzo sounds mad, madder than I've ever heard him before, but I can't turn to look. I can't move anything. All I can do is lie here shivering in my own soup. That's one way to put it. I'm sorry, Genzo. I'll do better next time. Game over. Oh no. Unfortunately, you were kebabbed. But you'll do better next time. Would you like to Aw, that's encouraging. Yeah, I'll do better next time because I'll know what to do. just the game talking down to me specifically. Alright, I guess we'll run and not save our... I almost called him our boyfriend. He is not our boyfriend. We just want him to be. Run instead. I bring my hands to my head, fingers shaking. No, I've got to run. Not giving myself another moment to second guess myself, I twist on my heels. I make it about 5 flying leaps away before I glance back just in time to see Genzo narrowly avoid being skewed by the rabbit's spear. The rabbit goes careening past him, plunging the head of his spear into the tree instead. Thank fucking God. Okay, so anytime that Iggy is like to defend somebody or to stand up for himself, I'm just gonna not do... He is a flight guy. He is not a fight guy, ever. And I should never put him in the fight mode. He should always be in the flight mode. Let's leave the fighting to Genzo. I gracefully trip over a stone in the middle of the path that hit the dirt. But I don't have a chance to finish my self-deprecating thought. Because in the next moment, Genzo has me by the collar and is yanking me back to my feet with a hairy puff. You choose now to be a clumsy-ass motherfucker! I stumble after him, waving a few wide curves before falling in step behind him. I didn't choose the clumsy life. The clumsy life chose me. I say between my choked breaths. These millennials. I see Genzo shake his head in amused disbelief. Me too. We go lying down the path away from the dense outcropping of trees and out along a slowly gurgling river. I'm just about to turn back to check for any sign of a rabbit friend when Genzo goes skidding to a halt next to me. I follow suit, eyes growing 10 times the size of my head. Blast to the past with that light, yeah. The ground in front of us is no longer well ground. It's soft, lumpy, it's a tongue, yeah. And it's connected to the largest eyeball I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Yeah. What the actual fuck? Yeah, I've been about to say I don't remember that thing being here before, but my head's so jumbled at this point I can't say for sure what I remember and what I don't. So instead I just gulp and look up at that thing, a burgeoning sense of nausea turning my bowels into stone soup. I take back every moment in my prepubescent years where I wished I could get some tongue. What? What? What is that line? That's incredible. Genzo's always horny on main. He really is me. They're so millennials and I love them. Also, this game takes place in like 2018 if I remember right, so even more so now. Also, hi! Hi! That's a great first chat. I remember interacting with you on Twitter earlier today and I really appreciated the kind words. I've been having a blast because we've just been flirting with Genzo the whole time. I know it's all gonna go to shit, but I'm also loving how retracing our steps is adding all this like extra nuance to it too. So I'm having a good time. Like I genuinely am. Like I'm feeling good. And we just got a bad end. We started off strong, we got kebabbed, but we're trucking, alright? we love the elder gen talk, yeah. Just as I'm studying the intricacies of the water patterns, I feel a tug on the hem of my shirt. My head snaps down, eyes refocusing themselves just in time to take in the sight of a small creature staring up at me. Fuck this thing. We're gonna punt it into the river. Like, screw you, dude. I had faith in you, and you turn around and you betrayed me. What the hell is that thing? Dead. That thing is dead. It's small, only coming up to my knees. Perfect punting size, but its head is large, puffy, and oblong. Yep, just like a ball, and red, bright red, and it's gonna be redder when we pop it. I'm so mad. I hate this thing. You want something, little guy? I ask as I pop a squat. It warbles something incomprehensible, then waggles its tentacle-like arms off to the right. I turn my gaze to the direction it's pointing to see a neat wooden bridge stretch across the width of the river. A bridge. My brows furrow. Wait a minute. Bridge, bridge, bridge. Why is the word bridge sticking out like a sore thumb in the deep recesses of my mind? It must be in Genzo's too. Something's not sitting right with me about this eggs. The creature continues to joggle its arms happily. It certainly seems like it wants to help us. Oh, chatter. I noticed nothing off about the slang and now crying. That's so funny. These characters are 11 years older than me. I'm a Gen Z, even though my brother was so rude to just be like, I thought you were millennial this whole time. Turns out you're Gen Z. And I was like, I've never heard you say a meaner thing to me in my entire life. In fact, the more I think about it, the more the feeling grows. Tiny prickles like teeth sinking into my skin are running up and down my arms and neck. There you are. Alright, I spin around, only to see the rabbit at the end. I don't know what we're gonna do this time, because everything's evil here. My heart promptly jumps into my stomach. Fuck. Genzo takes a step backwards. Even our tiny acquaintance brings its arms up to its mouth in fear. I can already see the rabbit rearing up for a charge. I have to make a choice, now. Except I'm not given the chance, because in that instant, Genzo grabs my wrist and begins tugging me towards the tongue. Oh, so he knows. What are you doing? Sorry, Iggs, but we're not going with that thing. I just have a really, really bad feeling about it. I don't resist. He's got a point after all. We clamber on top of it just as the sound of racing footsteps fills the air behind us. Immediately, I roll forward to escape the edge and the rabbit's potential grip, flopping down atop the porous mass. Once Genzo is safe next to me, I throw a glance back to see the rabbit glaring at us angrily from the solid ground. He's not following us, I muse. Genzo eyes him warily. I mean, I certainly wouldn't follow us if I were him. I push myself shakily to my feet and try to take a step. Yeah, but you can't, really. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever done in my life. Scratch that. Second most disgusting. What's the first? I shakily rise up my hands. Please tell me, Genzo. Fingers sinking into the tongue's flesh. Why do I feel like I don't even want to know? No, don't say that. We do want to know. I wince and follow after him, saliva quickly saturating. Ugh, God, not again. Not again. But we're halfway there, yeah. Keep moving. Ugh. Adding these little tidbits, by the way, Carrot is so smart, because I think most people are just going to be like, ah, fuck this, I'm skipping, I've seen this before. But these little tidbits really are adding so much. It's insane. Like, I'm scared to skip past, like, something I haven't seen. Yeah. Be not afraid, ass eyeball. I see you. I don't care. You ain't scary to me anymore. That sound is, though. Yeah. Stop! It's in my ear! Genzo's hand moves it, twist away and out of my grip. Oh, wait, were they holding hands? Aww, they did hold hands. And I had to hear that even more because of that. I'm sorry, but this is important. They're holding hands! And the panic twisting my shoulders into knots uncoils itself. I'm breathing properly now. Tell him to stop tooting. Ew! Somehow wet fart is less disgusting to me, though, than this. Explain that. Finally, the tongue pulls away. Yeah. I peer over the lens and simply deprecate. If I ever have to experience that again, it'll be too soon. No, for real. But no sooner has Genzo's smart retort left his mouth than the giant watery pupil of our captor moves. It rolls backwards, pulling a full circle before returning to its previous position. Ugh, yeah. This again. Then the biggest line of them all. Yeah. I always wanted to be appetizing, but not like this. You are, baby! Behind us, the tip of the tongue has uncurled itself. Honestly, I think what would have been kind of cool is because they went to his shop this time and they were covered in grease, like, if he licked us this time, he didn't like the taste of grease and then, like, just threw us elsewhere instead. I think that would have been kind of cool. Like, obviously this is still fine, but, like, I don't know why, but I thought that was going to happen before. Genzo is literally a little hater and also everything to me, and Iggy by extension, Genzi Weave. I love Genzo so much, man. Never leave the workshop without it. Yeah, because you're so cool. The reaction is immediate. The beast howls so loud it feels as though my heart twists into veritable nothingness. Grab onto me, happily. And then they go. Oh, focus on Genzo. I feel like that was new. Like, that was not said before. Or no, it was said in italics this time, so it's even more special. I close my eyes, clinging as tightly as I can, trying to block everything else out. Everything but the feeling of warmth beneath my arms and against my cheek. Above me, Genzo's clutching desperately at the handle of the screwdriver. Jaw taut and muscles tight. Alright. The tongue bumps to ashes, but somehow I keep my grip on Genzo, and somehow Genzo keeps his grip on the screwdriver. Yeah, that honestly... Oh! That didn't happen before! Pardon? Cheating? I let out a squawk of surprise and tighten my grip. It's another tongue. This one's long and thin, but still very much porous and pink. And was not here before. They're leveling up? I hate this place, dude. This hasn't happened before. No, it hasn't. How could this have happened before? I shake my head, shake my leg, but its grip remains strong and it gives me an... How the fuck are we gonna get out of this? Even as I squeeze my arms around Genzo, I feel myself slip another inch downward. Genzo! I see him readjust his grip on the screwdriver, his finger shaking. Another tug. Harder this time. I've slipped down around Genzo's knees by this point. If he keeps this up, it could pull us both of us down, unless... Not a choice. Alright, time to get the bad. No. Let go. Let go? That cannot be the right choice. In what fucking world? Unless he, like, swings his body? Huh? Alright, prepare for a bad end, y'all, because... I mean, I literally just said that if I was gonna put... If I'm gonna make Iggy do anything, it's not gonna be a fight response, it's gonna be a flight response. This is the flight response, this is the fight response. This makes sense. This just doesn't seem like it's... You know, fuck it, let go. Fuck it, why not? Why not? There's no way I'm making it out of this, but I can still save Genzo. Aww, he can make... Oh, this is bad for sure. Fine, Bucks, figure out what's going on. Fix all of this. But me, when have I ever been able to do anything? Me not being able to make a correct choice. I let myself slip another few inches down Genzo's legs, my grip loosened. I'm the one that started all this anyway. I was the one that had us open the door. I'm the one that let things get this bad between us. I squeezed my eyes shut. Not the sacrificial. Don't be a martyr, Iggy. Another tug on my legs pulls me down to Genzo's seat. I'll use myself as a distraction. Make that thing devote all its attention to me. Then Genzo should definitely be able to get away. I bite down my lip and suck into my breath. One more tug and then a hand on my shoulder jolts me back to reality. And I shoot my gaze. Did we make the right choice? I swear to God. And I shoot my gaze skyward to see Genzo glaring down at me, his fingers clenched in the fabric of my shirt. Don't you fucking dare. I blink, eyes wide. Don't you give me that look. I know what you were thinking. But Genzo, we're getting out of this together. Hell yeah! The crackle in his voice stops me in my tracks. And this time, when the tongue yanks down on my ankle, I squeeze myself against Genzo's calves, jaw clenched. Genzo's hand shoots back to the screwdriver to keep us from flying off. He grunts, looks from the screwdriver to that tongue, to me. Then finally, can you reach my pocket? Not sure I want to try taking my hand off again. I can try. I went to begin trying to pull myself back up. The eye must not like this because the tongue around my ankle gives it a stronger tug yet, yanking me all the way down to Genzo's shoes. Shit. Genzo's eyes nearly bug out of their sockets. Just hold on, okay? Yeah. He grits his teeth and I see him taking a deep breath before grabbing for his pocket. His hand comes back holding his lighter. How about a little tongue flambe? He says with a grin, far too amused for our current situation. With one flick, two flicks, he gets the flame dancing, then holds it against where the point of the screwdriver is piercing the pink flesh. It takes about 5 seconds for the eye to react. There's a roar from beneath us. Then the grip on my ankle finally loosens. We made the right choice, guys! Oh my god! Okay, fight or flight with Iggy. It is flight every time and things will go right. Flight is right. Flight is right, fight is not right. Another roar, pain this time. I can practically see the surface of the tongue writhing and curling away from the flame. Just when I wonder how much longer it can stand it, the muscles beneath us grow suddenly taut. In one whip-like movement, the tongue reels back and flings us. Yeah, let's go! Genzo and I go flying like rocks in a slingshot. First a few over the ground, then slamming into the dirt and rolling, 5 feet, 10 feet, 20. Before finally, unceremoniously, slopping onto the pebble-strewn path like a pair of wet fish. That's us! We did it, y'all! We did it! Oh my god! Twin puddles of saliva turn the ground dark beneath us. My head's still spinning. I'm not even sure I'm still conscious at first. I open first one eye, then the next. Then with a groan that's half agony and half disgust, I push myself up on my palms. Thick, clammy strings of goo stretch between my skin and the puddle below. Genzo rolls over. His cheeks are painted with a glossy drool. Hey, Iggs. If I ever ask how much worse it could get, please just stab me. Stab me right in the face. Yeah, I will, happily, because I said that earlier. I love it. I'm having fun. Who let me have fun? I rub my face until it's raw. I feel disgusting, dirty, like I'll never be clean again, like I've got eye saliva seeping into crevices I didn't even know I had. Ugh. We're in the shoals of the river, up to our knees in the water, and rinsing our hair, our clothes, our mouths. Genzo's taken his jacket off and is kneading it atop his knee like a washboard. His hair sticks up in errant tufts that shudder with each jerk of his shoulders. I watch him for a few seconds. If we weren't in a horrific Wonderland, currently fighting for our lives just to survive, the sight might almost have been picturesque. Like the two of us were on a trip together, hiking or camping or something. The thought of Genzo trying to pinch a tent nearly summons a laugh from my lungs. Yeah, just the two of us. That'd be nice. I blink. Of course that'd be nice. Anything besides what we're currently doing would be nicer about that. Yeah, that's true, that's true. Genzo sees me looking and shoots me a wave, nearly dropping his jacket back into the water in the process. I wave back, feeling somewhat awkward, then begin limping back over to the grass. This whole thing has got my head all weird. So, Genzo clasps his hands together once he makes it back to the bank. Now that we've almost died about 50 times, are we allowed to go back? No, for real. We did enough. He shrugs his jacket back on before pulling his cap over his curls. Not that I don't share your sentiment, but we've literally done nothing. We haven't even found anyone else yet. We don't need anybody else. I was afraid you'd say something like that. Nevertheless, I, Genzo Ichihara, shall stand by your side as your loyal and trusted knight. You really are! I said that so much in the first part. I was like, he's our knight in shining armor. Oh my god. And where's Cinderella? Oh, since when did you get all gallant? Last I checked, it was you who always took off the first sign of getting caught whenever we were doing something we weren't supposed to. He promptly slapped my shoulder. Since you lost fuck all reason and have been doing nothing but nearly getting us killed, you idiot. Somebody needs to be the brains of this outfit, and apparently it's not going to be Mr. Hotshot Programmer over here. Hey, He has a point, to be honest. Hi, Yinny! How are you? We're having a good time. We're flirting. We survived. I didn't die again. I mean, granted, I might be speaking too soon. We're only halfway through the stream. A lot more bad can happen. I woke up late. Oh. Hey, but did you sleep well? I think that's more important, honestly. It's not late. It's like 8 p.m. here. But you're on the whole other side of the world. My head's been a little all over the place. I slept like 10 hours for the first time in 3 months. That sounds so good. I can't remember the last time that I slept in. I'm one of those freaks that's like a morning person because I'm on a sleep medication. But that sounds great. We're having a grand old time. We're actually pretty far into the story. I am not a horror fan, and this game makes me feel a lot of things, but we've been flirting. We've been flirting with my man the whole time, so I'm feeling really good. So I can survive any horrors right now. I woke up and I was like, what year is it? No, for real, I've been there. I had a great dream last night. I had like a weird ass dream, but it was like, it left me feeling good. It was weird, but it was good. I think cowboys were involved somehow. A morning person, give me your powers. No, give me your night owl powers. The second it hits 9 o'clock, I'm like, all right, it's sleepy time. It's time for me to go to bed. OMG, I have this horror VN I loved. It wasn't super horror, more atmospheric, but it's called Stillwater. I've heard of that. I'll definitely have to add it onto my list. I'm kind of going just through my backlog. This game, this is our Wonderland by Carrot, has been on my backlog for easily a year and a half. And I'm just now trucking through it, and I'm having a grand old fucking time. I should have played it a million years ago, but I'm glad that I decided to save it for stream because we've been all having fun together. So, things happen for a reason. And another thing, Genzo whirls back around, this time with a finger pointed right in my face. Oh no. Any more of that noble sacrifice shit out of you, and I'll off you myself. Tell him. Fucking tell him. Are you really that anxious to throw your life away? Think a little more highly of yourself, would you? I stand there in silence. I don't know what to say. Genzo huffs and crosses his arms across his chest, clearly peeved. Finally, sorry. I bring a hand up to my curls, scratch at my scalp, then turn my gaze towards the ground. Guess I wasn't really, thinking. Genzo's face softens, hardens, then softens again. Oh. Yeah. Just don't do it again, yeah? You're, important to a lot of people. Just say you, Genzo. Just say you. He let his arm... No. I mean, Iggy's important to the others, even though, they killed us last time, but it's fine. Then crosses them again. Anyway, now what? We're no closer to finding anyone than we were before, becoming Wonderland's most wanted. That's good. I run a hand through the damp ringlets of my hair and peer out across the landscape. But before I can finish, a flash of movement... What do you mean, a flash of movement? I turn my attention towards the far bank. Oh, okay. It's a beach. A dock has been erected on the sand, and a boat is slowly gliding its way over the opposite direction. Hey, I know how to survive this time unless they throw in some other shit. Genzo follows my gaze. He narrows his eyes. That's freakishly fortuitous. He's not wrong. But at the same time, no, I remember this. The sight of the miniature white riverboat is enough to bring fuzzy, shifting images bubbling to the surface of my brain. Yeah, and I remember when I used to have wet dreams every night during my teenage years, but you don't see me anxious to return to that, do you? It kind of sounds like you miss it, Genzo. I ignore him. Instead, taking a step. Yeah, good idea. Just don't respond. Don't give him an inch. Iggy. And then I'm off, jogging towards the boat and the river beyond. Fuck. Genzo clutches at his hat and starts after me. Can't you listen to your logically sound knight for a change? Oh, are you just gonna call me? Is he gonna call himself my knight this whole time? Because I'm down. I get to the wooden steps of the dock just as the boat comes to a halt on the other end of the pier. Jesus. Genzo huffs behind me as he runs to catch up. Oh, my favorite my favorite character is about to show up. Let's go, let's go! We could take this. Better than walking, that's for sure. Iggs, are you even listening to the words coming out of your mouth? And what does the logically sound knight suggest? Going back for a picnic with a giant man-eating eyeball? I jerk a thumb in the direction we came from. I imagine this is very strange if you have no idea what's going on, but you know, that's just our Wonderland for you. Genzo glances from me to the boat, then back to me. Come on, it'll be fine. Don't you remember riding this thing? You used to love it, I urge as I start up the steps. Iggy. Genzo follows, but none too happily. I just have a weird feeling is all. Almost like... Except that the sentence is cut off as he runs straight into my back with a pillowy oof. A jovial, high-pitched voice. Yes, yes, it's back. Let's go. We both just stand there for a moment, glancing at each other. Come and ride the kiddie cruise and sail the waves for days. Adventure like you've never had. The end to your malaise. Someone singing? No, they're spitting. I step towards the railing, leaning over a peek at the ground below. It's a flower. Brilliant white petals adorn his oversized head, and its glossy green leaves shimmy with a dance-like movement. Genzo steps up to the railing next to me, blinking curiously. That's different. The flower twists atop its roots as though looking up at us. Cap of orange, scant of height. The pallid earrings you cloak in trite are more glaring than your loss of sight, rude. I raise a brow. What's that supposed to mean? Means a cheeky flower's about to get its roots flayed, that's what. Genzo starts climbing up and over the railing. The flower brings its leaves up to its chalky yellow... Yeah, we've read this before and I don't know that word still. This gentle flower locked in its earthen cage warrants not the fruits of your misplaced rage. Genzo snorts. I can't help but laugh. It's just a flower again, no need to get so worked up. Says the one getting ridiculed by it. Just ignore it, come on. Genzo huffs, but calms. He readjusts his cap on his head with a cavalier twist, nods once at the flower, then steps back towards the stairs. The flower waggles its leaves, this time turning its attention to me. Afraid to reach out, afraid to try. But if fear rules your life, life will pass you by. Ooh, okay. Put that on my Twitter bio. I stop, blink, stare down at the flower. The words strike something in me, and my finger curl tight around the wood of the railing. Fear, huh? I chew on the inside of my cheek. What do you want, Iggy? A sudden sensation on my back makes me jump, snapping me out of my reverie. I flip my head back to see Genzo eyeing me in concern. Hey, you okay there? Got all quiet all of a sudden. He pulls his hand back. I just stare at him for a moment. My chest feels funny, tight and floaty at the same time, like I'm standing at the top of a tall hill and wondering if I should jump. I finally turn away, running a hand across my clammy forehead. I'm fine. Just a flower, ain't it? Isn't that what you just told me? Ballsy things, just spouting nonsense anyway. Yeah, you're right, I concede sheepishly. Guess I would be too if I had to stay in one spot all day, I finished with a laugh. You got that right, I'd be going out of my mind. Come on, let's get on the boat. We start out the steps, wood creaking beneath our shoes. The boat is still anchored at the end of the dock, almost as tough, waiting for us. It bobs up and down gently in the current. See, it looks fine. I toss a hand towards it. Genzo doesn't look quite as convinced. He peers down at it, hands on his hips, then brings a hand towards his chin, chewing on his finger. I can hear him mumbling beneath his breath. He starts pacing back and forth between the boat's bow and stern, almost as tough, inspecting it for faults. Does it have your seal of approval? I guess it looks fine. I don't know, Iggs. I've just got really weird feeling about it. Well, just be extra alert, I say before promptly stepping forward and into the boat. Genzo starts and half reaches out as though wanting to help, then just quickly pulls back. He waits for me to sit down on one of the wooden benches before clambering in after me. For a moment I worry that it might sink beneath our combined weight. We're quite a bit larger than we were the last time we rode, but it ultimately holds true. Is there something we need to get to do to get it started? I don't remember. Classic. Fortunately, we're not left in the dark for long. Only a few seconds later, the water wheel in back slowly chugs to life. With a shudder, the boat begins to glide across the water. The river is calm, smooth, like butter. Genzo still looks nervous. I catch him throwing furtive glances from one side of the boat to the other. Try to relax a little, yeah? You look like you're about to have an aneurysm. For once, he doesn't say anything. Instead, it's just grunting and shuffling his feet. I scratch at my bare arm. My still damp clothes cling to my skin, cold and heavy, and whenever a breeze rolls in, I feel myself shiver. We round the bend, now drifting dreamily past colorful scenery. Knolls of gold and green slope upwards and away from the riverbank, and red and purple trees stretch towards the orange sky. Decorating the grounds are flowers of all shapes and sizes. Across from me, Genzo looks like he's finally starting to relax. He's no longer shifting back and forth, and his face looks more tired than strained. He slides his hat off, scratches his damp curls, tugs it back over his head. It's not often I see Genzo look so uncomfortable. To this day, I'm not sure if he doesn't get rattled easily or he's just good at hiding it. I turn my attention back to the wheel at the helm. It's creaking gently backly and forth, keeping us centered in the middle of the waterway and continuing our journey upriver. It's calming. The gentle lull, the sound of lapping water, until we have to close our eyes and people start screaming. When I reopen my eyes, I see Genzo staring at me. I sit up just a little straighter, suddenly self-conscious. What? He looks away, guilty almost, as though he'd been caught doing something he wasn't supposed to. Just didn't want to forget what you look like. That line still hurts me. I bite at the inside of my lip. Oh, I say simply. I see. As for me, though, I'll gladly forget. I'm ugly as fuck. I mean, wow, I kind of wish I never found that out. You're not ugly. Don't say that. You're not ugly. It's not don't say that. You're not ugly, bitch. I fucking love you. I love you. We're getting married after this. Too quickly, almost. I ship it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You have ears. You have eyes. To the point that I immediately regret it and drop my gaze. Genzo doesn't respond. He sits up, hands clasping and unclasping. He seems to be looking anywhere but at me. After a few moments of silence, he stands up with a grunt, wandering over to the railing. He gazes off into the trees. Damn, though, this whole thing sure bringing back a fuck ton of memories. He turns back, half sitting on the railing and reaching for his pocket, pulling out a carton of cigarettes. It must take him a moment to find a dry one because he studies it for a moment, then brings one to his lips. 1 flick. 2 flick. With 3 flicks of the lighter, the flame bursts to life, and soon he's puffing away, eyes staring vacantly at the side of the boat. There's something about that image. Honestly, it would be wild to suddenly see, after 10 years, being blind and not being happy with the way you actually look. Yeah. No, I mean, I get it, because, I'm sure he thought really fucking highly of himself when he was a kid, and then all of a sudden it just comes crashing down, and, at least he can, what's the word? Overcompensate for it in other ways, with talking a lot, basically. Poor thing. I hope he learns to love him the way he looks. Just, even after, if he keeps his eyesight when he goes back to the real world, regardless, I hope it's for the best. Him leaning against the railing like that, smoke marbling above his head. Why is it so familiar? Ooh, flashback time! I closed my eyes for a moment. Oh no, I got excited. Wait, no! It is! I think he's cute too. He's adorable. Oh my gosh. I love Genzo. And when I open them, it's darker and colder, and Genzo's looking about 12 years younger. He's dressed pretty sharp. I want to see his sleeves of his sport rolled up to his elbows, tie undone and hanging around his neck. Bro, when the flashbacks hit, it's so bad for me, for us. It is. It's gonna hurt me, but I need it. I don't know. It's I can't get enough. Not after prom already. That's when it had been. Okay, I'm sorry. That's mean. Look at him. And with the little Siggy too. Who are you fooling, dude? I love it. He's so silly. He's half sitting against 2013 fit go hard. It could be 2013. No. Apparently they're 30 when they're 2018. But, we could wish. So it's even older, which is math. Ew, math. Anyway, the bike against one of the bike racks just outside the cafeteria, night sky bright with the moon. As he sneaks a smoke, I can see him from the window inside, just sitting out there by himself. I push the glass door open with my elbow and step out to join him. Thought you got lost or something. It's chilly without a coat, but somehow refreshing compared to the buildup of teen sweat permeating the gym. He glances over at the sound of my voice, grins. Me, I'm never lost. Just taking a different route than everyone else. He's so cool. You should have seen Hunar at bingo. Lucky fucker won an iPod shuffle. Ah, bitch. Genzo stretches his arm over his head. I'm holding out my luck for the raffle. Daddy's gonna win himself a Dell. Confident, are we? I laugh and take a seat next to him. He holds out his water bottle with a little, No thanks. I'm not getting expelled with only a few months left. Oh, is it like vodka in a water bottle? Pshaw. He shakes his head, takes a sip. Not that I'm close. The smell is much stronger. The bottle has been full, had been full when he brought it in. Now there's only about a third left. That reminds me of high school right there. You never get expelled. Everybody loves you. He throws an arm over my shoulder, then brings the cigarette back to his lips. Me, though? They jizz their pants to kick me out on my ass. A grin. Let the fuckers try, I say. He shakes his fist at some unknown entity in the sky. I literally do that. I literally do that. Genzo is so me. When he slumps back down, his body is heavy against mine. Oh, my babies. I love that Iggy is tall. I love it so much. He sits there unmoving, this little string mane. I can see him grumming the end of his cigarette. Then a hiccup. He brings an arm up to wipe at his nose. Maybe you really should have put the bottle away for a while, I wince. Oh, so he's drunk. Okay, this could go somewhere. Somebody's definitely gonna notice. You know, I'm really gonna miss you. Mr. College Boy over here, off to bigger and better places, getting your fancy schmancy degree. It's only an hour away, not like I'm leaving the planet. I try to laugh. Besides, I'll be back. A pause. You decided what you're doing yet? He waggles his cigarette between his teeth, smiles, pretends to look away, waving his hand towards our surroundings. Maybe I'll go into bikes. Bikes? Yeah, you know, everybody loves bikes. So by association, everybody would love me. I'll be the most popular gent in town. By the time you come back, you'll need an appointment just to talk to me. A bird hoots softly from up against amongst the branches overhead. Yeah, get my own little shop. That'd be nice. Now he's rubbing at his pant leg, again and again, as though trying to rub right through the fabric. He's nervous. He opens his mouth. They would have graduated in like 2005, 2006. I did the math. Thank you for doing the math for me. Genzo could have been listening to Nickelback. He definitely was. You know what? People shit on Nickelback, I think, a little bit too much. Like, there are some stinkers in that discography, but like, it's not the worst. It's just overplayed. What's actually bad is like Imagine Dragons. And just take that with what you will. When he pulls his cigarette away to let out a plume of smoke, I can see his finger shaking. Oh, he finally says, can I, tell you something? I raise a brow. Of course. You can always tell me anything. His mouth twitches. He's really shaking now. I can even feel it against my shoulder. Gen, what's wrong? You're acting super weird. But at that moment, the door pops open. Oh, it's Gidget. And Gidget comes running out, her blonde hair dancing behind her. Iggy! Iggy! They're opening up the bouncy castle! Come on, you have to go on it with me. Her hands find mine, then she's tugging me up and off the bike rack. All I can do is laugh. Okay. I throw a glance back at Genzo, even as I'm being dragged inside. Come on, Gen! Bouncy castle! We pass by Orlam at the door, who's just watching us, shoulders hunched as he wrings his hands. I catch him throwing a look at Genzo before dashing after us, rat tail bouncing. Wait for me! I frown. But not in my memory. Back in the present. I hadn't thought about after prom. In I don't know how long. It had been the last time the five of us had felt like a unit. Our own little group. With honorary member Hunar, of course. After that, we'd all gone our separate ways for a while. College, community college, vocational school, in Genzo's case. But even after we'd all eventually returned, it had never been quite the same. Though strangely, we all had returned. Bucks and Hunar had, despite Hunar being accepted into a PhD program on the East Coast. Oh shit, okay. Gidget had... No wonder they had that big-ass house. Gidget had, despite Landbrook being the last place you'd look for a modeling gig. Even I had, despite a few semi-tempting offers from the startups in California. Almost like no matter what, something had always been drawing us back here. I glance back up again. Okay, so theory about after prom. I'm sure that they're gonna show us even more shit that happens at after prom, but when Orlam was torturing Genzo in the last part of Act 1, he was saying, he was just like, Genzo was like teasing him and be like, oh, are you getting all worked up about what happened after prom? That wasn't anything, basically. So I'm assuming that Orlam saw that Genzo was like upset because he was going to tell Iggy his feelings, but then Gidget took him away. And Orlam obviously has a thing for Genzo and was like gonna not take advantage, but it was just like, okay, I can finally talk to him because Iggy's not around. And Genzo kisses him because he's like sad and maybe a little desperate or whatever, and Orlam takes it like the wrong way, obviously, which understandably, yeah. So then it like gets his hopes up, and then turns out he was just substituting him for Iggy, basically. I'm pretty sure there's some truth to that. I don't want confirmation about it, because there will be as I play, but that's what I'm thinking right now, and I'm scared. I'm scared, and it's so sad. Oh, okay. I glance back up at Genzo, who's now wandering the length of the boat, checking out the helm. He looks so short next to the big wheel that I almost laugh. Do not laugh at our short king. Don't steer us into any icebergs, I say with a grin and push myself to my feet. Who do you think's controlling the thing? He muses, giving it a little flick with his hands. What do you think makes anything in this place do whatever it does? I gesture vaguely at our surroundings. Skittles. Definitely Skittles. What the fuck are you saying? I chuckle, hands in my pockets as I let my gaze settle unfocused somewhere around the far trees. It's then that I see it. A sign. It's small and wooden and perched around. Okay, time for us to close our eyes. Even though I want to leave them open because I still want to know what happened because I never got to see it because I got the good end the first time. I take a step forward. My tongue feels like a dry sock against the roof of my mouth. What's wrong? You don't like Skittles? We're approaching the next curve, drifting slowly, peacefully. But something about the air makes the hair on my arms stand straight up and my fingers tingle with electricity. With a jolt, I grab Genzo's arm and drag him back to the benches. Close your eyes. I push him, and he protests. What? I'm trying to press Genzo's palms against his eyes. Just do it. There's no time to explain. Close your eyes and don't open them until the boat stops. Promise me. Jesus eggs. First you act like I'm crazy for not trusting this thing. Now you go all ballistic? Pick one and stick with it already. Just promise me, okay? Genzo waves his arms in disbelief but closes his eyes all the same. All right, I promise, Jesus. I watch him for a second, making absolutely sure that he has them closed for good. Then follow suit, folding forward and cupping my eyes with my palms. Then I wait. Sitting there, elbows digging into my knees, toes curling inside my soggy sneakers, and sweat gathering in the crook of my neck. I can hear the water lapping against the sides of the boat. I can feel the the rhythm of the water wheel against my backside, the gentle swell pushing up forward. Calm, quiet. I chew on the inside of my cheek, fingers sticky and forehead damp. Waiting. We must be past the curve now. A tickle of embarrassment starts to play on the back of my neck. What's wrong with me? No. You're right. You must think I'm a complete idiot. Tendrils of shame work their way up my chest. No. Creepy shit's happening. You're right. Though, who am I kidding? He probably already thought I was in it. Nope, never. Or at the very least, a weirdo recluse with no social skills. Nope. He probably only talks to me because he's sorry for me. Nope. Pitiful. And now to do something like this? I should just look already. There's nothing here. Yeah. Keep on going off. He can never like me. Oh. My breath comes out shaky and feverish, leaving moisture on my wrist. I'm a disgrace. Just look already, you idiot. No. I've done this before. I've definitely done this before, and I'm not going to let it happen again. I press my hand into my eyes, hard enough to make them pound, and in that instant of pain, the heat leaves. My chest unclenches. Coolness washes over my body like a breath of fresh air. What the fuck? I wipe up my damp forehead, but keep my eyes clamped shut. That was weird. I've never had thoughts like that before. I mean, sure, my self-esteem has never been the greatest, but nothing like that. It's this boat. It has to be. I rock my heels back and forth, lick my lips. There's still only the sound of the water past the boat, that gentle rocking motion. Something brushes past my neck. The fuck? I sit up straight as a rod. What the fuck was that? There's something out there. Something here in the boat with us. Shit. Another brush. This time against my side. I can feel the cloth of my shirt flutter against my skin, and the sound. I can hear it. Its breath. It crackles and pops mere inches from my ear, almost like it's opening its mouth, opening its jaws, preparing to eat me whole. No. Now it's playing with my hair. I can feel it shifting through my curls. It's just brushing her hair. It writhes and squirms almost like a nest of snakes. Then lower. It curls beneath my chin. Lower. Sneaking underneath the collar of my shirt. Oh, not it groping us. Shit. I have to look. No, you don't. It's the only way to stop. Nope. I brace myself, letting my hands slowly fall away from my eyes, then groan and jerk myself away with a renewed burst of concentration. The feeling disappears. No more strange caresses on my skin. No more brushes against my clothes. Fuck, that was close. Get a hold of yourself, Iggy. Don't you see what he's doing? What it's doing? I bite down on my lips so hard I can taste blood in my mouth. My body feels heavy and cold, like someone's draped a hefty blanket over my shoulders, and my breath comes out ragged, as though I've just run a marathon. I curl my arms around my midsection, rocking back and forth atop my seat. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, life is but a dream. I clench my eyes even tighter, trying to ward off the feeling of dread crawling its way up my skin. Row, yeah. I can feel it in my arm, warm, throbbing heat that wants to burst out of my veins. My head swims. Life is but a dream. Open your eyes, Iggy. We made it. No. Fake Genzo. Not real Genzo. Nah. Ain't falling for it again. I bring a hand to my forehead. This isn't real. I shake my head, taking a deep breath, starting my humming anew. Why did you abandon me? Don't you like me anymore, Eggs? It's your fucking fault. Yeah, he would never say that. Your fault I fell down those stairs, and now you won't even come visit me? That's not true, that's not true. I was all alone in that hospital. You didn't even visit him, Iggy? Are you kidding? And then you wouldn't even help when I finally... I had to get fucking Orlom to help me with my stuff. I was busy. With what? I was busy? Busy? Yeah, busy or scared. That's when... I mean, okay. He was a kid. Something that traumatizing happening to a kid would be really fucking hard to deal with, and I get that. But, like, that was your fucking friend, dude. Like, you could have at least visited. You didn't have to help him. You could have, like, oh, God. I mean, it's fair. He was a kid. He didn't know. But, like, scared that your best friend might want to oh, God, no. I mean, that could play into it, too, but... Oh, we were having fun. Make it stop, yeah, and you're too scared now, too. Always too scared to help me when I really need you. No, that's not true. We tried to sacrifice ourselves for you not too recently. And I tried to help you, but I got kebab, so... Every nerve across my body is sending jolts of panic straight to my brain. Make it stop. Iggy. What do you mean, look, or look? Fucking, huh? Pardon? Look, I guess. I can't take it anymore. With a choked sob, I begin to crack my eyes open, only for a sudden sensation to stop the spell. My muscles jump, nearly sending me straight off my perch. Somebody's grabbed my wrist. I panic for a moment until I realize it's Genzo. The real Genzo, not the one in my head. Upon this realization, I slam my eyes shut just as a glimmer of light begins peeking through my lashes. Fuck. His grip is so tight it's cutting off the circulation to my hand, but I don't care. Instead, I focus on it, on that feeling of warmth, my safety net, keeping me grounded in reality. And the next moment, the boat hits something and comes to a sharp stop, nearly sending me to the floor. Oh, I missed that line. I sit there, listening. Are we there? It's quite safe, save for the gentle lapping of the water beneath the boat, and we're definitely not moving anymore. I chance it. Bright. That's the first thing I notice. I'd had my eyes closed so long that the orange daylight now seems exceptionally brilliant. I blink against the glare, tears still streaking my... That was so sad. We're at another dock, bobbing lazily in the water. My head shoots immediately to the side, looking for Genzo, needing to see him. He's still hunkered down on the seat across from me, his eyes closed and features contorted, and his fingers are still wrapped around my wrist, so tight that his knuckles have gone white. Genzo, I say softly at first, then louder when he doesn't respond. Genzo! Still nothing, so I reach down and pry his fingers away. This finally does the trick. His eyes pop open in surprising confusion. I can see beads of perspiration dappling his cheeks and forehead. He takes a moment to look around before finally honing in on me. Oh, are we here? It seems like it. The boat stopped at least. I nodded in the direction of the dock. Guess that means we should get off? Right, yeah, sure. You okay? Oh, yeah, sure. He pulls at his collar, rises to his feet. Guess I just got a little, seasick there. Except you didn't. We disembarked the boat in silence. Then stand on the dock, unmoving. Time to see Gidget and see her bullshit. Genzo's hands find my shoulder, but he says nothing. He just stands there with his fingers curled into the fabric. I bring my own hand up and give his knuckles a squeeze. Come on, path seems to lead this way. I point past the end of the dock and towards where a valley of dirt winds itself off and away from the river, bordered on either side by more trees. Yeah, but Genzo's voice lacks its usual vivacity. We start our trek away from the river without another word, just the two of us, walking down a dreamlike path in a world of fantasy with no idea where to go, or what to expect next. Except we do. I'm not sure how long we walk. 20 minutes, 30, an hour. Time feels strange, almost as though it's not passing at all. Yet, when I think back of the cottage or discovering that hole in the tree, it already feels like a lifetime ago, and strangely disconnected. I try to think about my apartment, about work, about the party. They all feel fake. Did any of that really happen? Of course it did. That's my life. That's me. I look down at my hand as though it might reveal an answer to some unspoken question. What do you want, Iggy? I glance over at Genzo as his hands shoved in his pockets and his gaze pointed at his toes. What do you wish for more than anything else in the world? I bring my hand up to run through my hair. I'll tell you once you've gotten yourself hitched and you've popped out 2.5 kids and a white picket fence to corral them. How about that? Then we'll be able to have ourselves a good laugh about it. I shake my head. Is he thinking that his wish is he wants to know what Genzo was gonna say to him? Or like what? Sigh. All of a sudden my footsteps change timbre. Interesting. Oh, I stopped for a moment studying the new pavement. Do we find the yellow brick road? Genzo takes this opportunity to survey the landscape. Through the foliage veiling the upcoming bend, I spy a spattering of bright colors, too bright even for the otherworldly trees. There's something there. I expand the energy for a short jog. Taking me around the trees and in front, I can only describe as a gigantic billboard. I stop, take it in, and feel my eyes grow about 5 size larges. 5 size larges. Jesus. Genzo trots up next to me, equally as stupefied. It's Gidget, only larger than life, wearing little, very little clothing. Good for her still. That's a side of Gidget I'd never seen before. You can say that again. He chews on the inside of his cheek, a gurgle of unease. My stomach twists, thinking about her like this. I turn away from the billboard. Wait. This time he didn't go on that whole tangent about how he's like, oh, I could see myself with Gidget, like it could be good and all that stuff. Unless that's coming later, and I'm normally all for exploring your passions, but this feels a little excessive. She did all this here? No, she did it in her backyard. And so we make our way down to the Gidget-lined path. Her smile follows us, sometimes sweet, sometimes sultry, and sometimes downright sinful. I can't help but feel like every single one of them is aimed straight at me. 20 placards later, sees the entrance to a small village. You can remember eating ice cream here. Yeah. Could really go for a hot fudge sundae right about now. Me too. Pushing the thoughts of sweets out of my head, I start down the main road. For once, we're not the only ones here. People are milling about, walking from building to building, but none of them as much as glance as we look around. I round the next corner and stop. Let me see. Gidget. You seen Miss Glamour Shots yet? Genzo sidles up next to me. Not yet, but something tells me I'm about to. My stomach gurgles. I'm getting that feeling again. That feeling like I'm on the verge of entering deep shit territory. I bring a hand to my belly with a wince. Here she is! Hi! Good morning, darlings! I'm singing a feeling. Thank you so much for seeing me off. Immediately, there's hands reaching out. We love you, Gidget. Marry me, Gidget. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm kind of rushed today. Gotta shoot. But autographs wouldn't hurt. I'm your #1 fan. The girl rings. R.I.P. Ponytail Girl. Hey, Gidget. Only this time, the call comes from right next to me, and I turn to see Genzo with his hands cupping around his mouth. Gidget turns, stops, then beams. Guys! You're here, I can't believe it. Could say the same thing about you. We had no idea we'd find you down here. Up close, Gidget looks different. Her aura is incredibly intense. And he doesn't say anything about her appearance looking like perfect and spotless. You look, great, I finally manage. Gidget beams, then grows instantly shy. I mean, have to, you know? Keep up appearances? Who knew they'd love me down here? You're, doing modeling gigs, son? I asked. Yeah, crazy, huh? Oh crap, that reminds me, I'm already late for my next one. Come down with me? It's just over the pier in town. Afterward, we can grab some drinks. Because, what else can I say? Iggy only has eyes for Genzo this time, I know! I'm loving it! It's like such a small detail that I was like, wait a second. I also listened to the VOD of earlier today, so all this is fresh in my memory, and I'm like, wait a second, something's missing. Catch y'all later! Oh, she doesn't even invite us? She seems strangely not- or did she, and I'm just- whatever, ignore me. She seems strangely nonchalant about all this. Tell me about it. Even glare. An older woman. Just keep walking. Genzo hisses. Yeah. I don't need to be told twice. Gidget leads us to a curve. Oh, she did invite us. I'm just being dumb. It's fine. A team of photographers. Beautiful, isn't it? The perfect photo shoot. I'm actually surprised I haven't done one out here yet. Color me shocked. Genzo squints as he takes in the scenery. Gidget's brow furrows for a moment. Then she returns to her cheery self. Feel free to look around during the during the shoot. I don't think it'll be that long. She takes one last look at us, then dashes off towards the crew. Please tell me I'm not the only one weirded out by this whole thing. Yeah, it's something else. Something's fucked up. Why the hell is she down here playing dress up like this is some kind of game? Well, it is what she wanted. Yeah, and I want every day to be $6 buffet night at the Steak and Bake, but you don't see me rushing to bend the rules of time to my will. I don't respond, instead biting down on my lip, watching the crew finish setting up. The shoot starts and Gidget is on fire. I've never seen her look so alive. They start with a few shots, blah blah blah. Why is she here? How can she act like this is normal? beams and begins waving me over. I pause, unsure, point to myself as though it could be anyone else. Where she nods, I shuffle. I mean, it could have been Genzo. She jumps down all the railing at my approach. Join me for a shot. What? Yeah, come on, just for fun. Besides, who wouldn't want to shoot this handsome stud? I throw a look at helplessness back at Genzo. His face is blank. It seems like I'm on my own then. I allow myself to be dragged towards the railing. They position us on the other side of the little blue sloop. I don't even have the chance to ask what I'm supposed to do before the cameras are snapping like crazy. How many pictures are they taking? 100? A minute? The first 500 are just gonna be me looking like deer in headlights. Fortunately, Gidget knows what to do. She grabs my arm, pulls me close. She gives me a playful shove, gets me moving. And all the while, the cameras shoot, shoot, shoot. This is how it works then, isn't it? Hope that one or two of these thousands of shots actually looks decent. Gidget laces her arms around mine, pulling me back in, and plants a kiss on my cheek. I recoil instantly. Hot. My face feels hot, almost like someone stung me with a poker, and my stomach twists in discomfort. I grimace. Something Gidget doesn't miss. What's wrong? Her brows furrow. I shake my head. Nothing. Sorry, my stomach did something weird there for a second. Just not feeling super hot, I guess. Oh, go take a rest then. I'm almost done here. Then we can head back. Yeah, right. I nod somewhat apologetically and scoot out of the view of the cameras. Once clear, my stomach slowly normalizes, and I take my glasses to give my face a few good rubs. You all right there? Genzo slides up next to me, face clouded with worry. You look like you're about to pass out, fucking pale as a ghost, and I mean worse than usual. He presses the back of his hand to my cheek. Don't pull away. What? Huh? Come on now. Come on now. In no world am I doing this. We're not pulling away. I'm fine, really. I shake my head, but don't pull away. Think everything's just starting to catch up with me. You want to sit down or something? Genzo sweeps his gaze across our surrounding... I'm starting to see why this is your favorite act, because it's feeling like mine right about now. Come on, there's a bench over there. Oh, sure. I certainly wouldn't mind sitting down. I just need a few minutes to collect myself. I follow Genzo towards the bench and sit down with somewhat languid plop. Genzo follows suit beside me. I glance up just in time to see Gidget watching us. Her face is strangely dark. Homophobes. No, that's joking. Oh, no. Gidget's kind of the worst right now in terms of, like, she's kind of the worst, so it's fine. I quickly lower my gaze, focusing instead on my hands. Quite the setup they got there. Genzo muses as he watches the crew at work. I'm not really listening, though. I've got my eyes closed, just taking the sound of the water in time with my breath. It feels good to shut things out, if even for a moment. You remember much of this place, Eggs? I sit back, open my eyes. Genzo's leaning back to look at the houses behind us. Only kinda. Then, like, bits and pieces, I guess? We definitely went to the bakery more than once. He points towards the small, cozy-looking cottage just up the street we came. I remember the little old lady there gave me extra cookies, said it helped me grow. Aw. Well, now we know that was a lie. Rude! Rude! Rude and unnecessary. A laugh. He keeps going, finger bobbing in the air as if pointing at something in his memory. Well, yes, a route where you flirt with Genzo the entire time. A good... No, for real, though. It's all downhill from here. No, I'm just joking. I'm excited to flirt with the others, too. I'm excited to flirt with Gidget when she's not insane. So, wait, remember? Orlum got stuck on top of that wall and was too scared to climb down. I see the wall he's pointing at, one separating a trio of houses from a miniature garden out the back. Weren't you the one who dared him to climb up in the first place? That stupid fucker. I still can't believe he did that. That was pretty funny. You were pretty mean to him. We're not going to encourage his bullying behavior, because that wasn't necessarily always cool, okay? So you were pretty mean to him, alright? You were pretty mean to him. My lips curl upward in a wince. Didn't he even, like, pee his pants? Oh, fuck, you're right. The sparks another guffaw. The whole front of his pants was wet by the time he got down. Genzo. I just look at him. What? But his smile fails. He blinks, looks towards the ground. Oh. He only went up because of you. He used to do everything you told him to. Genzo brings a hand up to scratch beneath his cap. I mean, I did share the rest of my ice cream with him afterwards. Well, that was nice. I blink, but before I can even try to read into the indecipherable expression written on Genzo's face, the sound of camera equipment being packed up grabs my attention. I turn just in time to see Gidget bounding towards us. Iggy, we're done! She grabs my arm and pulls me to my feet. Come on, let's head back. They love me at the end. They'll give us free drinks. Oh, sure. Just said that way more crazed. I throw Genzo a look of helpless confusion as I stumble to keep up. Drink time. Literally drink time. Drink up, boys, and trap. Stay hydrated. Drink up, boys, it's on the house. A busty woman in a flower. Yeah. We were here. Don't mind if I do. I don't touch my own. Somehow the thought of alcohol only serves. Yeah, that's a good idea. I place my hands tentatively around the base of the mug as though I plan on drinking, but just haven't found the opportunity yet. The inn is bustling with patrons, men playing cards. Yep, it's a cozy place. Stairs in the corner. Sure didn't have anything like this here when we were kids. Yeah, why would it? I glance around, taking in the ambience. But that's kind of a neat thing that, like, it includes a bar this time because they're older and they like to drink. I mean, I guess we did always know this place changed. It always just kind of knew what you needed, even beyond the wishes, I mean. Genzo crosses his finger over his heart and lowers his head. Thank you for knowing what I need. I turn my attention back to Gidget. She's just watching the two of us, her face strangely blank. I try to bring her into conversation. So, how long have you been here then? Kinda seems like you made yourself at home. This brings a strange little smile to her face. She curls a lock of hair around her finger. I'm not even sure at this point. I haven't been keeping track, you know? Everyone loves me so much down here. Guess I kinda got lost in it all sometimes. The curse of being popular, you know? I force a smile. Right. Dang, talk about night and day. Here, Iggy and I were treated like public enemy number 1 and 2 at the moment we arrived. Gidget just shrugs. Oh, that'll happen, I suppose. Only enough room for one goddess down here. Probably saw you as anomalies to be eliminated. She didn't say that before. She was like, they welcome me with open arms. And now she's just like, nah, you guys should get fucked because I'm great and you guys suck. I'm joking, of course. Yeah, of course, yeah. But now you're here, right where you're meant to be, So don't use meant to be against me. So you can just relax. The way her eyes go razor focused at this, staring straight through me, sends a chill up my spine, and I have to turn my gaze away. Pretty sure Iggy's not meant to be anywhere, Genzo grumbles, nursing his beer. He can make his own goddamn decisions. Is that so? Didn't seem like you were giving him much of a chance to make his own decisions earlier. What are you talking about? Practically throwing yourself at him back on the pier. It's disgusting is what it is, leading him away from everyone else so you can have him all to yourself. I took the guy to a fucking bench, is that a crime? You tired him all out with all your fucking Wonderland's Next Top Model bullshit! They really said it! All I could do is look back, and also this is awesome. All I could do is look back and forth between them with each new riposte. My brow is reaching for my hairline. Who knows what else you've already done to him. Oh! Actually homophobic. Probably turned him against me, got him all confused. I'm like, shocked. I'm gagged. I'm like, oh! Genzo's face twists in disbelief. He raises his hands, glancing around the room as though looking for some kind of fleeting explanation. Poor thing. Turned him against... He didn't even finish. What am I, the Pied fucking Piper? Gidget leaps up to her feet, slamming her hands down on the table. Do you even know what I've had to go through? What I've had to do? The sacrifices I've had to make? Okay. Live Gidget reaction! What have you done, Genzo? You're nothing but a drunken loser who never went to college. Bro, he's blind and runs his own fucking shop fixing bikes. He's literally awesome. Fuck you. Stop making- I don't want to hate Gidget, but like every time I interact with her, it just gets worse and worse. And it's hard to come back from. She gestures towards with a fling of her wrist. I mean, just look at what you've done to yourself. You can't even take care of yourself, let alone someone else. Bitch! The color drains from Genzo's face. He simply sits there frozen. Stand up for Genzo! What? Huh? As if there were any other choice. This choice does not exist. I have no idea what any of this is about, but just so you know, Genzo's done a whole fucking lot. He started up his own business, for crying out loud. That's true! Genzo glances at me for a briefest of moments, his lips pressed tight. As if that's hard. Gidget just huffs. You did the same thing. Besides, his is just a shitty little shop no one cares about. Shut up! That's not true. A lot of... It's okay, Iggy. Genzo winces, smiles, scratches the back of his neck. I don't even know why we're arguing, to be honest. This is stupid. Gidget smiles, but it's not a friendly smile. Her eyes narrow into slits, and she brings a hand to her mouth with a tiny giggle. More like pointless, really. But yes, this is supposed to be a happy occasion, yes? You two joining down here, we should be celebrating. She slides back into her seat, crossing her legs with an over-embellished swoop. I don't miss the way the side of her foot brushes against my calf in the process. On the opposite end of the table, Genzo is staring down into his beer. He seems to have lost his earlier enthusiasm. Now where were we, Right, your plans, of course. You are going to stay here with me, yes? You'd absolutely love it here. I suck my lower lip up between my teeth. That's not really, I mean, we thought we'd look for. You absolutely must see the studio. I still can't believe what they were able to do with it in such a short amount of time. Absolutely breathtaking optics. Gidget, we're not. And then, of course, there's the housing situation. I'm sure we can work something out. I mean, you can always just stay with me, and I'm not sure what we'll do with Gidget. Gidget just blinks, smiles, cocks her head. What is it, Iggy? I throw a glance at Genzo for help, but for once in his life, he's silent, looking mildly as though someone just killed his dog. I open my mouth, then wince, and bring a hand to my forehead. There's a weird sort of panic building up at the base of my gut. This is all getting too much. The walls suddenly feel closer, a lot closer, and my mouth feels like it's been stuffed full of cotton balls. Beads of sweat are already starting to gather on the back of my neck. Are you alright? Gidget's brow forms two twin arcs. Then she leans forward, one hand sliding across the table to find my wrist. You poor thing, I know. Today must have been very confusing and overwhelming for you. But don't worry, everything will be fine now. Her fingers run up the skin of my arm. I'll take care of you now. No, why don't I get both of you rooms for the night, I nod in spite of myself. I am tired, exhausted even, and a bed sounds absolutely delightful right about now. Oh, perfect, come then. She rises to her feet with a sickly sweet smile, the hand on my wrist moving to my upper arm to tug me up. As soon as I stand up with a wobble, she laces her arm in mine. I can feel her chest pushing up against my skin. Let's go get the keys from Mrs. Graham. She leads me over to the counter, Genzo following reluctantly behind. She seems positively giddy, giving my arm a little squeeze, then snaking her hand in mine and entwining our fingers. I try to jerk it away, only for her fingers to clamp down so hard it's like my hand is in a vice. I bite down on my lip until I can taste blood. 2 keys, please, Mrs. Graham. These 2 gentlemen would like to stay the night. Of course, dear. The woman behind the counter smiles and recurs 2 sets of keys from the back wall, placing them in Gidget's outstretched hand. They can stay as long as they like. Then we're headed upstairs, up and away from the sounds of the bar, and into a quiet hallway lined with doors. Gidget twists one of the keys into the door on the right and pops it open. Here you go, Genzo. This is your room. Oh, Genzo scratches at his neck. I mean, if you want to keep drinking, that's also fine. But at least now you have your own room and keys, Iggy and I are going to retire, though. Is that so? Genzo's gaze goes to me now, looking for confirmation. I mean, I am pretty tired. At this point, I just want to get inside my room, close the door, and go to sleep. But it's not just your room, she's coming with you, bro! And if that means playing along with Gidget until she gives me the keys, then so be it. I think we'll all feel a lot better in the morning. Quite right, both of you need your rest. Gidget just nods, then stares pointedly at Genzo. Right. Genzo just mumbles, but he starts towards the open door. I guess, good night, guys. He takes one last glance at us, then disappears inside the room. Gidget immediately begins tugging me further down the hall. Your room is this way, Iggy. Thank God, I'm just about spent. I can only imagine. She unlocks the third door on the left, popping open the door and revealing a cozy room outfitted with bed, wardrobe, and desk. Something about the sight of it makes me instantly relax. Soon I'll be alone. I guess I'll see you tomorrow then? I tug myself away from her grip and step inside. Thanks for everything. This is really, nice. Gidget just smiles and walks in after me. Oh, I press my lips together. She shuts the door behind us. Pinpricks of sweat begin to form across my forehead, and I can feel my throat start to go dry. Gidget, I mean, I'm sorry if I, gave you some kind of wrong impression, but I really just wanted to, sleep. It's okay, Iggy. You're confused, I know. Stop saying that. It's pissing me off. She takes a step towards me. No, actually, I'm not. I do just want to sleep. I take a step back. No confusion there. I raise my arms in what I hope is a harmless gesture of comical misunderstanding. Gidget just shakes her head. Ugh, indeed. There's a strange look of pity in her eyes. Oh, Iggy, you poor thing. But it's okay. You're with me now. Everything's gonna be just fine. Everything's, already fine. I shoot a glance towards the door. Something's not right. Something's not right. Or at least it will be tomorrow, after I've had a good night's sleep. In this bed. All by myself. I start sneaking in the direction of the door, slowly, carefully. I'll train you, Iggy. Ooh, rebuild you from the ground up. Then you won't have to be confused anymore. You'll know exactly what you want. She brings her hands to her cheeks and smiles. That smile. There's something wrong with it. It's very yandere. Something that shakes me to the very core of my being. The tendrils of panic tickling my diaphragm suddenly clamp around my heart, and I feel the air leave my lungs, shaking her. I need to get out. I need to get out. Oh, the music, too. I twist towards the door, grab the handle, wrench it open, but what greets me on the other side isn't the empty hallway. Instead, one filled with eager smiles, hungry eyes, and reaching hands. It's the zombies that aren't zombies right now. The group of fans from the table downstairs, they're crowding the door, and the second the door is open, they come pouring inside. What the fuck? I jump back, but they come too quickly and too many of them, practically fighting over themselves to come at me. They grab my arms and legs, lashing onto my thighs, toppling me to the ground with a dull thud. And as much as I fight and kick and push and shove, I can't get them off. Can't get from under them. Oh, you're too kind, darlings. Gidget's smile stretches across her entire face now, and she bites down almost hungrily on her bottom lip. The best fans a goddess could ask for. She sighs in barely restrained delight. Raise him up for me, would you? I want to see his face. The arms champ down on me being tugged, pull me up away from the floor. I feel my arms get yanked back as a new pair of hands grab my curls and twist my head upward. Beautiful. Another sigh. Gidget's face is flushed pink, but perhaps too beautiful, yes. Oh god, she's gonna carve us. A frown. That's why others want to take you for their own. We can't have that now, can we? You're mine and mine alone, Iggy. She giggles, then dances off towards the desk. Oh god, the scissors! Not the scissors! When she returns, she's holding a pair of scissors. Gidget, please! We can't! But another jerk on my head cuts my ward shirt. Tears spring to my eyes as I grit down on my teeth. Too beautiful. What can we do about that, Iggy? She practically sings. Give me a haircut? With flash, she reaches towards and grabs a chunk of my hair, twisting it upwards painfully. Let's start with that, shall we? Is she actually gonna just bald us? Oh, that's cool. She laces the blades through the chunks of my hair in great greedy handfuls, laughing and squealing as the severe curls fall to the floor. Yandere Gidget, OMG. She was Yandere last time! But yeah, she's like going full Yandere this time for sure. My head is wrenched left then right, her fingers tugging and pulling as the scissors snip, snap, and send more errant pieces flying. She suddenly stops, grabs my cheeks. Beautiful. Stares into my eyes, face practically radiating heat. Beautiful. Gidget is the world's first yandere with gender dysphoria. Incredible. We love to see it. Carrot starting new trends all across the world. And then smashes her mouth again. Ugh! God, not again. In that second, I can't breathe, can't see, can't even think. She moans, sucking on my lips, my gums, my tongue. Then, as quickly as she started, she pulls away, breath hot. Too beautiful. She reels her hand back and hands me across the face. Okay, rude. The impact sends my head reeling and stars dancing across my eyes. Her hands go back to my cheeks, and then red and bump forms across the skin. A beautiful color. She slaps me again harder, laughing and squealing. My face is burning, throbbing. Sorry, still had a bit of rose-colored glasses last time. That's fair. Gidget's really cute, and I want to like her a lot, but just every time we interact, it's just like, she's annoying me. She's making me mad. I hate what she's saying. More color. She grabs my cheeks, clawing at them, digging her nails into the skin and pinching, clamping the skin between her fingers. Oh! Oh no, she's gonna gouge her eyes out. Then her thumbs to go to my eyes. My head snaps back. Oh my gosh, she actually did! Was this our fault for defending Genzo? Did we get the bad end? Fuck. Fuck, it hurts. Or just we lose our eyes this time. Deeper into the sockets, digging straight into my brain. It hurts. I open my mouth with a noiseless scream as every nerve across my face, my scalp sends electric shock straight into my brain. I can feel my eyes popping out. Bright white light flashing, blinding. Suddenly, there's a knock at the door. Gidget's grip loosens instantly and my head slumps downward. I can't see anything at first. Everything is black. Then slowly the light returns, blurry and warped and red. Filled with red. At least we still got our eyesight, I guess. Hot liquid seeps from the corner of my eyes to glide down on my stinging cheeks. Hey, Iggy, just wanted to check if you were doing okay. It's Genzo. My muscles snap into motion on instinct, head rising and lips parting. But Gidget's arm slams against my face before I can get a sound out. Her palm finds my mouth, and she wrenches my head towards her body. Everything's fine, Genzo. Iggy's already asleep. He was so exhausted after our activity. Oh my god. I blink against the tears and blood pooling in my eyes, struggling to breathe. Oh. Genzo's voice sounds so small. Okay, I'll see both of you in the morning then. No, we're shouting. Fuck it. Go big or go home. He's leaving. I didn't say fuck. He's leaving. I've got to do something and I've got to do it now. Otherwise, I don't give myself a chance to complete that thought. Instead, releasing what little strength I have left in one concentrated burst and twisting against Gidget's grip. The sudden movement must throw her off guard, because in the next second I feel the cool air of freedom on my lips. Genzo! I belch out, Genzo! I'm jerked backwards before I have a chance to finish. Gidget's fingers clamp so tightly around my jaw I swear her nails are liable to pierce clean through my cheeks. It's silent for a moment, but then, was that Iggy? I clenched my eyes shut, willing him to stay, willing him to try to press further. Gidget just laughed, clearly doing her best to stay cheery. Oh, the poor dear, having a nightmare is all. Must be reliving one of your horrifying encounters. She wrenches my head back with a painful twist for emphasis. Oh, okay. Then make sure he gets plenty of sleep, yeah? He looked exhausted. Oh, of course, I will. I will take good care of him. I pause. Okay, good night then. Gidget doesn't bother responding this time. I see her listening for him to walk away before she finally releases her grip. I choke, cough, stretch my jaw. Before I even have a chance to fully recover, she backhands me across the face. You little bitch! I could say the same to you! Her pupils have shrunk to the size of pinpricks in their sockets, her eyes cloud with rage. She grabs my hair with an agonizing twist, jerking my head backwards, but even as she glares down at me, her face is already softening. She sighs, her lips curling into a smile. It's okay, you don't know any better. She bites down on her lip. But that's what I'm here for, to teach you. She moves back and gestures towards the floor. Her fans respond by pushing me down on my back. Oh, God, I don't have the energy. Oh, God, this is worse! For more than a half-heated squirm as they hold my arms and legs down against the polished wood. Oh, not the scissors again. Gidget crawls on top of me, scissors in hand as she straddles my waist. I feel myself starting to shake as she leans forward, chest flushed with my own. Sweet little Iggy, it's just too tempting, isn't it, being naughty? She runs a hand through my hair, then glides it down the side of my face before gripping my jaw. She squeezes it, sending my lips out in a comical pout. Shh, I know. I'll make it easier for you. Then you'll never be tempted again. Her face monopolizes my vision, her smile searing itself into my brain. She squeezes harder, popping my jaw forward with a snap, then quickly reaches inside with the other hand, pinching my tongue between her fingers and yanking it out past my lips. I try to scream. My lost energy comes back in a flash of adrenaline and I'm struggling, squirming, pushing against her, but the fan hold my arms and legs down tight, and vision quickly blurs with tears of frustration. Don't worry, this will only take a second. She sighs almost lovingly, face flushed, then brings the scissor up and snaps the blades down around my tongue. Ugh. It separates with a revolting squelch. The pain is immediate. My back arches as a strangled cry wrenches itself out of my throat. My tongue. I can't breathe. Can't even think. It's gone. Gone. Blood fills my mouth, bubbling over and past my lips, choking and hot. I cough and send giant clots down my chin and across Gidget's face, but this only delights her further. She holds the fleshy pink triangle up with a giggle, giving it a playful flick. There, see? Now we won't have any more incidents, But I'm past even understanding what she's saying at this point. I gurgle, retch, a low groan shudder to my lungs and up through my throat. Another cough. The blood is everywhere now, coating my cheeks in dark, thick clumps and rolling down my chin and neck. My groan builds, low and guttural, and punctuated by hacking sputters. This makes Gidget's smile fall. Her eyes flash and she jerks towards to grab my soggy collar. Shut up! It doesn't hurt that bad! But I don't shut up. I can't shut up. My whole face, my whole head feels like it's being zapped with 1,000 volts again and again. The bloody stump of my tongue continues to pump out blood with painful... You know, the first time around, this kind of thing would have just been like, oh my god, what's going on? But now I'm just like, yep, par for the course, tongue gone, of course. What else did I expect? It's desensitizing me. This is exposure therapy. Shut up. You're supposed to be quiet now. She slams my back into the floor. But all of this does is expel more gooey clots from my mouth. My moan continues, morphing into a hoarse wail. She looks panicked now. She sits up, looks towards the door, looks at me, looks at the scissors, then with a 30 cry. Yeah. I mean, at least she put him out of his misery. Stabs the scissors straight into my temple. Is this all because we defended Genzo? My body goes as stiff as a rod, and the moan stops. I don't feel it. I don't feel anything. Honestly fair, though I think Kara does a good job of escalating. Hell yeah! Because I'm sitting here going, well, how could that be worse? I need to stop asking that question. We'll find out. We'll figure it out. Enormous pressure on the side of my head. Honestly, at this point, what you said, this tears return, filling up my sockets as my vision warbles into indiscernible blobs. I'm sorry, Iggy. I can't make out Gidget's face anymore, only a dark shadow looming closer and closer. But you just want to be quiet. She tugs the blades back up with a pulpy pop. My brain is going to spill out onto the floor, but it's not something I have to worry about for long. Already the world is starting to turn dark. I can't even cough anymore. The blood from my tongue oozes back down my throat, pulling in my lungs. I don't have words anymore. I mean, what are you supposed to say to this? At least now you can be with him forever, Gidget's voice coos from somewhere in the darkness. I'll take good care of you, Iggy. I feel her hand on the side of my... One of her fingers begins wriggling its way inside the weeping hole. That's when my eyes finally roll back and everything goes dark. Unfortunately, you were skull searched. I never heard that term, but alright. But they always have said trepanning is good for the brain. Is that a thing people say? I'm just jumping back in. Oh, Gray. You showed up at the worst time. I think that's the most gruesome thing that's happened so far, so... I can see anything if everything is black. Oh, that was our last choice? Do we have to go further back, or is this... We had to be quiet? Was that it? Okay, well, let's see. Let's see. Take those scissors away from her. No arts and crafts for Gidget. Are you kidding? That was it? God damn it. It's like every choice that I think is going to be the right one, I should just choose the opposite of that. We'd probably be much better off. Well, Chattercap, at least those specific ones were like breathing. Nah. Stay quiet. That feeling of impending dread is too strong, so as hard as it is, I stay quiet, instead clenching my eyes shut in futile despair and hoping to someone somewhere that this is the right choice. Yeah, right. If there even is a right choice. Gidget runs a hand through my choppy, jagged hair again and again. There, he's gone now, don't you worry. He wants to take you for himself, you see. But you're safe here, safe with me. She laughs, delightful and thrilled that thrums against my face. Besides, look at you now. She pushes my head back up, looking down at me, her eyes sunken and wild. Terrifying. Then presses her thumbs up against my bruised cheeks, pulling back the skin, forcing my lips into a stretched smile. Blood from my eyes ooze across her fingers. No one would like you now, ugly little Iggy. Rude! Except for me, that is. Now I'm the only one there for you, the only one who'd even care for you. You'll be mine forever. My own little Iggy. She dips her head forward and traces her tongue up the side of my nose, all the way to my forehead, smearing blood all up along the path. Gidget, I finally managed to eke out, my voice hoarse and strained. Hush now, she coos, then traces her tongue downward, past my lips and chin and down the side of my neck. Okay, Saltburn. I haven't seen it, but I feel like it's gonna be fucking, like, bluey in comparison to this bullshit. Like, I feel her slide up onto my lap, straddling my hips. Blood decorates her lips and her chin. Aren't you a man? This is what you're supposed to want. Is it bad that I still think she's hot? It's gotta be bad, okay? She's bad. She's really bad. But she's also evil. That's my type in women. I've said it. And it's always true. Or perhaps it's just that you haven't been with me yet. Down, down, down. My stomach recoils at the touch, sending the fabrics of my shirt fluttering. Is that it, Iggy? Have you been saving yourself for me? This is what I'm supposed to want? My breath hitches, and I feel my throat constrict with a painful twist. You're so sweet, Iggy. To think you'd do something like that for me. Now her fingers are on the fly of my pants, tugging. She leans in close, whispering right next to my ear. I've been saving myself for you, too. Gidget, no. A sudden crack snaps my brain back to attention. From the window. The glass is cracking, but I don't have to ponder the absurdity of it long, because in the next second... Our man is here! Whoop whoop! Whoop whoop! We just had to shut our mouths, which is something I'm not good at doing, so it made sense that we picked that one. But at least we got to see some cool horror scenes, wow! The entire pane of glass comes buckling forward and a figure comes barreling through to fall with a jounce onto the bed. Fuck, not the best idea I ever had. Genzo wipes at the shards of glass littering his arms and legs, only to freeze when he sees what's happening in the middle of the room. What the fuck? Gidget spins around, blood dribbling down her lips and face twisted. He's mine. She stumbles to her feet. You can't have him. Adding blood was what this expression needed to be, just a little bit more terrifying. Then lurches towards him. Genzo looks left and right, frantically searching. He yanks his cap off his head and uses it like an oven mitt to grab one of the larger shards of glass atop the bed, wielding it like a dagger. Gidget crawls up on the bed, growling and snarling and reaching towards him. He responds with a slash that slices through her arms and hands, blood splattering against the wall. But this doesn't seem to hinder her. Also, her fans are in here. She launches herself straight at him, on top of him, slamming her fist into his chest and clawing at his face. I can't tell who's winning. All I see is a mess of flying arms and legs. The bed bounces, creaks, skin slapping on skin, frightening yelps and growls. Finally, Genzo lets out a yell and rolls over, taking her with him, spinning, until they both fall to the floor with a thud. Gidget suffers the brunt of it, her head cracking against the floorboards. Oh! And Genzo takes the opportunity to grab her, yank her to her feet, and position the shard. Oh, taking her hostage! He turns to me, to us, to the rabid group of fans, and I can hear the hissing in fear at the sight of their idol in danger. Let him go. Genzo's voice is strangely calm. He presses the tip of the glass shard into Gidget's neck. Let him go, or I kill her. There's a moment of hesitation or of uncertainty. Then I feel the bruising grips on my arms, and legs begin to loosen to fall away. I slump to the ground with a cough. Now step back. Another jab at the glass. When they don't move, he takes a step forward, watching Gidget tighter in his grip. I said step back. The fans finally do as he says, hissing as they retreat to the far wall, almost like cornered snakes. Gidget laughs, a low throaty chuckle. Aren't you sweet, the gallant savior? But we both want the same thing. He shakes her head, so he snaps back with a jolt. Are you done? This is met with another giggle. Then, Iggs, can you walk? I stumble to my feet, head spinning. My vision is still blurry, but I nod my head all the same, limping towards him. Genzo must get a good look at me for the first time because his eyes go wide in concern. Fuck. Oh, Iggy, sweet little Iggy, you don't want to leave me, do you, Iggy? Gidget coos. Genzo ignores her and nods his head in the direction of the door. I take the hint. You know, Gidge, this has been great and all, but I think we're going to have to take a rain check. Great liner, Genzo says. Then shoves her towards the bed and takes off. Go, go, go! And now we're running away from all these fuckers. I'm coming for you, Iggy. Just you wait. You will be mine. She didn't die this time, so that's not good. We make it to the stairs, stumble down the first floor. The music is still playing. The patrons are still inviting. They look up as we race and shove and push our way through. Just when we make it to the door, Gidget appears at the top of the steps, pointing down at us and flanked by her groupies. Get them, you idiots. That's an order from your queen. Ah, so Orlan's the king and she's the queen. I see. We practically fly outside, out into the night air, the sound of mugs slamming and chairs scooting right behind us. To the pier, come on. I go careening after him. I think a lot of this is the same. Fuck. Because in the next moment he's got my thighs and has scooped me over his shoulder, huffing and puffing and dashing down the street towards the pier as I hold on for dear life. It's a good thing you're light as a stick, he gasps out between breaths. We don't have too far to go, just down the winding road. But already I can hear footsteps behind us. Lots of footsteps. And shouts too. I don't dare look up, instead keeping my eyes clenched shut and my fingers clamped in the fabric of Genzo's jacket. Once I hear the gentle slap of water, I know we've reached the pier. Genzo stops momentarily, turning first right and then left. Gonna take a sip while I skip through this real fast? And shouting at us, shaking their fists as we float away. Oh, so they didn't grab us this time. Yeah, good riddance! I, however, stay down. The panic has finally begun to recede, but it leaves a hole in its place. A strange hole that leaves me somehow hollow, empty, feeling nothing and everything all at once. I raise my hand. It's shaking. Why is it shaking? Then the tears come, blurring my eyes, hot and stinging as the pool beneath my... Oh. Genzo rubs his face, repositioning his cap before returning his attention to me. He immediately blanches. Fuck, Eggs. He starts as he kneels down beside me, voice catching. What did she do to you? I can only look at him. Look at him as though I don't even know who he is. My chest so tight I can't breathe. Genzo cleans me up as well as he can, using water from the lake to wipe at the blood on my cheeks and dab at my eyes. I can't even imagine what I must look like, and my vision still seems off. Everything has sort of hazy outline to it, and it's hard to focus. Then we try to sleep. There's nothing else to do. Nothing but float. Float and wait. I close my eyes against the darkness, against the chill of the night air, but every time I do I can see her face, can see those eyes devouring me, and feel those thumbs digging into my brain. You'll be mine forever, my own little Iggy. I gasp, open my eyes, looking up in the sky and the sea of stars. My body shivers. I push myself up to a seat, leaning forward on my knees. A chill sweeps up my arms and down my back. I can see Genzo curled up on the other side of the boat. He's got his arms crossed in front of him, and he's using his cap as a pillow, snoring softly. I move before I have a chance to think about it, crawling over, my fingers trembling against the cold plastic of the boat beneath them. Genzo, I whisper, my voice swallowed up by the blackness. It leaves a hollow lump in the base of my throat, and I suddenly feel incredibly exposed. Genzo shifts, squinting up at me. He starts to get up, a look of worry crossing his face. I don't say anything. I throw one last glance back at the spot I vacated moments earlier. Oh, then lie down next to him in silence, my forehead just barely touching his shoulder. I can feel Genzo tense next to me. Is this okay? I ask softly, hesitantly. He swallows hard. Of course, as long as it's okay with you. I let out a shuddered breath and close my eyes. Oh. Genzo finally seems to relax next to me. He lies back down, shifts again. When I creak my eye open to check, he seems to be struggling with where to put his hand. Oh, it hovers in the air momentarily, then rests on the ground between us. Finally, he curls it up into the crook of his elbow, lacing his arms around his chest. My eyes flutter closed again. At this time, I don't see her. And we float across the water the rest of the night. Oh, like that was horrible and that was sad, but, you know, having Genzo there really does kind of soften the blow a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that's what we were missing last time, was just a love interest to make us feel like everything wasn't the worst in the world. The sun is well overhead and we're surrounded by nothing but blue as far as the eye can see. And also this act has that extra feeling of like, well, we know everything goes to shit at the very end. So like, we know that could happen very easily again. And it might just happen. But you know what? At least we flirted along the way. And that's what matters, guys. Genzo is already up, examining the pile of spare boards at the bottom of the boat. He looks tired, but smiles all the same when he sees me awake. We take turns rowing using the boards. I'm unsure if it does anything, but at least it feels more productive than sitting there twiddling our thumbs. We don't speak about what happened. That would make it too real. Instead, we sit mostly in silence, rowing, resting, watching the sun rise overhead, then begin its slow descent back down. The sky just has started to turn a soft shade of pink when Genzo makes a noise. He points in the direction we're floating. Spires on the horizon. Land. I smile in spite. Thank fucking God. We both set to rowing now, anxious to be back on solid ground despite the fear of what might await us. Nothing could stop what just happened at this point. Again! Stop saying that. Stop it. Alright, Orlom time. Orlom time. Orlom time. This isn't gonna go bad. He wants our man. It's gonna go bad. Everything okay? Oh, yeah. Everything's, right as rain. But I catch a smile falling once he thinks I've looked away. There's a scraping rumble beneath us, and the boat slows to a stop. We've hit land. There's no dock or pier here. Instead, the lake simply glides up against the bank, almost like some kind of grassy beach. We hop out of the boat into ankle-deep water and drag it the rest of the way. It's getting pretty dark now, and I'm not too keen on walking around this place at night. I pad further up on the bank, my feet squishing inside my shoes. What now? Genzo wanders over. For a second he looks at me as though he wants to say something, but he ultimately remains quiet. I see him scratch at his calf with the side of his foot. We check out the town, I say, breaking the silence. There might be some place for us to get some sleep. God knows we could use a soft bed at this point. Yeah. Well, come on then. And I could be imagining this. Nice squid. I could be imagining this, but I feel like last time Iggy said that he's like, I can't wait to get a bed for me, or like to go to sleep. But he was like, for us. Maybe I'm reading into that. Maybe that didn't happen, but for some reason I feel like that might actually have happened. Only for Genzo to step forward and grab the sleeve of my shirt. Iggy, But he doesn't continue, and stands there for a moment, his brows furrowed and his breath heavy, and I swear I catch the tiniest hint of pink on his cheeks. Then he seems to realize what he's doing, because his eyes go to the grip of his fingers on my sleeve, and he jerks away with a start. Sorry, he mumbles, gaze dropping to the ground. I raise a brow. What is it? Nothing, just me being stupid is all. But what else is new? Am I right or am I right? I blink. Right. Anyway, what were you saying? We find ourselves a place to shack up? Sounds great to me. God knows I'm already to lose my mind at this point. Just give me a few hours and not worry about whether or not my mom will have someone to take care of her in the ripe old age. God damn, it is getting dark out. Come on, eggs, let's blow this popsicle stand before it's so dark we can't even see our own dicks. Your logically sound knights shall lead the way. And with that he takes off. I watch him putter away up the hill. What the fuck? But for multiple reasons, now is not exactly the best time for me to mulling over the complexities of Genzo's deteriorating psyche. So with a little shake of my head, I start after him. Watch him not tell us this whole time. He dies, and then we definitely don't know what the fuck he was going to say, so our last wish is, what was Genzo going to say? And then it tells us, and then we're like, oh, okay, and then we die, and then it resets. That's what I'm guessing is going to happen, and I'm locking it in. I'm going to pee real fast. I don't know, let me move it. I think I'm just gonna leave it on this screen and mute my mic. I'll be back in like 2 or 3 minutes. The stream's almost over as well. I kind of basically just want to see Orlom and then just be like, we're gonna call it a day. So let me pee real fast and we'll finish up the last bit of this, okay? Okay, I'm back. And oh yeah, Genzo's winning you guys over, as he should. That's my king. Even though we're about to meet another king. It feels like we're romancing Sans. You know what? I thought I was gonna say that like a while ago. This game really does feel like if it and Undertale had a baby, and then made it way more terrifying. Of like both of them, it just amped up the terrifying to 10 and made it more gay. Even though Undertale's pretty gay. You know what I'm saying? And it, for that matter, is, you know what? Shut up. I'll shut up. I'll shut up. It curves around a few fishing shacks, but we're gradually... Yeah. It does. It really does feel like that. Are we the only ones here? But Genzo is already a couple yards ahead of me. I'm not sure if he doesn't hear my comment or he just doesn't acknowledging it. I jog to catch up, and I notice him start to walk a bit faster. Not him running from us. He doesn't look at me. Yo, he's like, gay thoughts can't catch me. Just keeps running. At least it doesn't take long. Soon we make it to the town proper. There are more buildings here. Cozy cottages and apartments, quaint storefronts, airy cafe areas. And in the middle of the main square, a fountain tinkling away. But it's equally as deserted as the fishing shacks. There is in fact a Halloween drawing of Genzo dressed as Sans. We smiled. Not me being in love with Sans. What does that say about me? Because I've never seen the appeal of Sans, but I see all the appeal of Genzo. So I was more of a Papyrus girl myself. I'm a huge Sans simp, so recognizing Sans and Genzo made me drop my phone. We got you, butter. They got you. There's gotta be someone here. Maybe we should split up? Yeah, split up and look. I don't say anything for a moment. Then, what? My voice crackles with a squawk. There's not even anybody here. It'll be fine. Besides, it'll take us forever to search this whole place if we don't. I guess. Okay, cool. Give me a shot. Shout if you find someone. I just stand there, watching him scuttle away. Oh no! He's running away from us, and so he's gonna get caught by the fucking bunnies, and then Orlom's gonna get to him first, and then we're gonna be like, hey, where's Genzo? And then Orlom's gonna be like, just be weird. Maybe it's the context. Sans is kind of mentorish, but Genzo is a sad childhood friend with an unrequited love. Mayhaps. Yeah. Like, sure, okay. I say to the empty air. I frown and scrape my feet over the cobblestones. Did I do something wrong? No, he's just freaking out about his feelings, man. I try to replay our previous conversations in my head. I must have said something. Something really awkward, maybe. It wouldn't be the first time, but the idea that Genzo wouldn't want to be around me makes it feel... Oh, no, and then he's gonna be like, it's because I look so bad, and that's why he doesn't want to be around me. Oh, God, this is going bad really fast. This is going bad. I give my hair a flurried tousle and let out a groan. I'm overthinking this. Oh! Okay, I should go search the town. The sooner we find someone, the sooner we'll get to rest, even if only for a bit. And so I wander off towards the nearby buildings. Okay, this is different. Hello? I peek my head into what looks like a deserted cafe. Anybody home? I step inside, and the door clunks shut behind me. It suddenly feels incredibly quiet. I poke out my bottom lip with a bemused glance about the premises. It's a cute cafe. Or at least it would be if it weren't dark and eerily deserted. I let myself amble somewhat aimlessly around the main dining area, almost as though making a show of searching for someone. But clearly, my heart isn't really in search. I sit down at one of the tables instead. I rest my chin in my hands. Maybe he's really annoyed at me. I wouldn't blame him. I annoy myself all the time. I pause. Blink. I'm still thinking about him? What's wrong with me? I've never been so hung up on something like this in my life. Or someone. I tap my finger idly on the marble surface of the... It's true, my feelings towards Genzo are different than my feelings towards others. I feel very safe around him. Like I belong, somehow. It's the same thing I thought earlier, back in his shop. Being around him doesn't sap me of energy like it does with others. And when he smiles at me, it makes me happy. Happy, it makes me fucking ecstatic. I groan and rub at my face. I don't like this. I don't like this one little bit real. Why can't I just have normal feelings like a normal fucking human being? You do. Everyone else in the entire world seems to have figured out this shit already. No. Sound outside catches my attention. I love some gay pining panic in the midst of horror town. This is just what I needed. And just as I turn my head, it grows from a lone clatter to a veritable cacophony. What the... I jolt from my chair, heart quickly leaping into overdrive, then run towards the door, ear to the grain. The sound continues, a scuffle of some sort, then abruptly come to a stop. I keen my ears, fingers trembling nervously against the wood of the door. Okay, you got me, I surrender. See? Did I call it or did I fucking call it, dude? Did I call it or did I call it? 'Cause I'm so mad. Not Orlam getting our fucking man. I'm so mad. Orlam, you and me, outside right now, 5 minutes. We'd lose, but still. If Iggy has a chance to box anybody in this fucking game, it's Orlam. Like, square up right fucking now. Whoa, easy on the goods. I like it rough, but not that rough. Alright, disgusting human. I'm taking you in. His Majesty will, love playing with you. I don't like this. I don't like this. I react before my brain has a chance to register what I'm doing. This honestly just adds more points for Genzo in this sputter heart. I stormed straight out the door. Genzo! Only to instantly blanch. Oh, the bunnies are cute. I wish we could be friends with one. Genzo's being held aloft the middle of the street by a duo of rabbit guards. Extremely tall rabbit guards. And at my brazen entrance, all 3 eyes set and towards me. Who's this one? Scrawny little guy, ain't he? Genzo's face has gone white. That's, Then he seems to get an idea. Boys, yoo-hoo! You better watch out, I'm getting away. He begins wriggling and tugs against the rabbit's grip. Stop that wiggling, 284. Would you give me a hand? You know, I really wish you would call me Jerry. His name's Jerry! Jerry the rabbit soldier? Huh? Both rabbits turn their attention. Why is that the most surprising thing that's happened so far? Is that this fucking rabbit's name is goddamn Jerry? What are all the other ones' names? Bob, Richard, Brian? I can only imagine this was supposed to be some kind of distraction so I could run away. But fuck that. Head on a swivel, I search my environs for something long and hard. My gaze lands on a rake leaning up against the side of the cafe. Perfect! I grab it and let out a roar, then charge. Oh, look at him being more like, Jerry is literally like a mutual to me. The rabbits never see it coming. I whack them across their shoulders, their backs, their legs, again and again and again. One whip-like lash after the next, until my breath is rum ragged and my voice hoarse, and when I finally pause to admire my handiwork, oh, I see both of them just staring down at me. This one looks so annoyed. Is this what Jerry? I hope it is, because he's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And this is so derpy. I want to be friends with the rabbits. Fucking Orlam, hand him over. I see both of them just staring down at me in confusion, none the worse for wear. Even Genzo and eyeballing me as though I've just sprouted a second head. Shit. I readjust my grip on the handle of the rake. I have to try again. I raise the rake above my head, only for the nearest rabbit to swat me across the back with the flat side of the spear. The impact sends me straight to the ground. I last about a second after my skull hits the cobblestones, then blackout. Well, you tried, babe. And at least you guys get to go in together, which is good. This motherfucker right here, I'm gonna box him. A tendril of drool works its way down between my lips to tickle the tile. Iggs, a voice hisses next to me. Oh, and when I blearily sit up, I see Genzo with his arms held behind his back, one by the rabbit guards. One of the many rabbit guards. My eyes widen as I attempt to comprehend our situation. There's a whole circle of them surrounding us, and past them, the ruin opens up into a gigantic hall with ceilings that reach for the sky. I can only stare up in awe as I try to massage away the residual pain in my jaw. Iggy! Genzo hisses again, then tugs against the grip on his arms with a grunt. Let go of me, you overgrown Easter bunny! He manages to wriggle free with one last zealous heave and promptly face plants on the floor. Apparently the guards don't actually care at this point because they don't try to grab him. Iggs, you okay? He asked with a shake of his head before crawling over. That big lug-a-bug whacked you a good one. Alright, I rub at the side of my head. I think so? Just a little out of it. I toss another glance around at our surroundings. Where are we? That big eyesore of a castle we saw on the way up. Somebody's clearly compensating for something with this place. I got his ass! Genzo smiles, falls, then returns, then falls again. He scratches at the hair beneath his cap. You, attacked a 7-foot-tall rabbit with a broom for me? Yeah, and I do it again. I stop, stare at him, feel my cheeks start to burn. It was a rake, actually. Oh, right. Attention! Damn it. The sudden screech from behind us nearly sends my hands to my ears, and the rabbits pull a quick, synchronous salute that echoes off the walls. It's quiet for a moment. Then, this bitch. Okay, what kind of cringe shit are you gonna say this time, my guy? From the far hallway. Small figure, yeah, that was quite the show you put down in the village. It's Orlom. Fucking Orlom. Sporting a gaudy-ass fuck crown and a tiny-ass cape. And escorted in a shit-eating grin by a pair of over-embellished rabbits. My jaw drops nearly to the floor. Genzo wobbles to his feet. I can see him trying his hardest not to laugh. Well, that explains the aura of pretentious dickhead dripping off the walls of this place. As pleasant as a mouth as always, I see. But what it doesn't explain is why the fuck you sent your long-eared flunkies after us. Do you even know how many times those things have tried to kill us? But Genzo, dear, they're only doing their duty. Orlom oozes over and loops an arm around Genzo's shoulder. Their constant surveillance is essential in the smooth operation of this kingdom. After all, we wouldn't want any miscreants running amok down here, now would we? He gives Genzo's nose a sardonically affectionate squeeze at this. Genzo looks about 50 shades of uncomfortable. I guess not. Besides, I'm a busy man. I can't keep tracking of everything my men do out here. Let me make it up to you. Orlom leans in so close it's a wonder their foreheads don't touch. Before just as abruptly pulling away and raising his fingers with a snap. Guards, get them cleaned up, would you? I want them looking spotless for the feast tonight. As he glides away, are we just not gonna eat the food this time too? Because we'll be like, oh, I've seen this place before and I didn't like the ending, you know? It's all I can do to shoot Genzo a look of sheer bewilderment at the rapid-fire series of developments. What? The actual... Fuck. They didn't say it. Oh, no, he did say it! Yeah, let's go! Never in my life have I felt more exposed. Standing in the middle of the tub with my arms raised, I eye my rabbit. Is it Jerry? Lieutenant Whirly as he scrubs me down. Is this really necessary? Stand still. I jerk back up to attention and spend the rest of the bath with my eyes trained on the far wall. Once the cleansing has finished, and I feel as though I've lost about 3 layers of skin, I'm toweled off and dressed in a thick white robe. Then it's to the large vanity where my curls are blown dry, and when I'm given a choice view of the state of my face for the first time, I grimace in the mirror. My eyes are a strange mixture of purple, red, and dark, like 2 sunken holes in the middle of my face, and they're surrounded by thick purplish brown rings. Ugh. Like a degenerate raccoon. My cheeks are lined with more bruises, a strange mixture of green, purple, and brown dotted with dark red scabs. My attendant finishes brushing out my now fuzzy hair, and I place my glasses back on my nose, thankful their thick frames hide some of the damage. There's a knock at the door, and another rabbit enters the room, holding a neatly folded set of clothes. It takes me a second to realize they're my own. Wait, when did you... They've been cleaned and dried and perfectly pressed. I have no idea how. I couldn't have been in the bath longer than 20 minutes. I've given no explanation, of course. Instead, shuffled back over to the changing area, where my attendant promptly sets to work fitting me into a newly cleaned attire. I raise my arms and he tugs my shirt over my head, smoothing it carefully across my front and back, then tugs me into my pants and cinches the weight tight with the clasp. Infantilized doesn't even come close to how the entire situation has made me feel. Once I'm finally finished, my attendant leads me back down the hall. Genzo and his attendants emerge from the door on the opposite side, and almost exactly at the same time. He looks disturbed. Was that the weirdest fucking thing you've ever experienced, or did they do something different to you? He hisses as our attendants guide us back downstairs. You mean with the bathing and everything? Yes! Then his eyes grow sharp. Nobody did anything to you, did they? Oh! That didn't happen last time. I blink, look away. My cheeks feel warm. No, it was fine. A little uncomfortable, but that was all. I see him chew on the inside of his cheek as he looks at me. Finally, he gives me a shoulder, a little squeeze of reassurance. You're safe now, yeah? Not that I really trust that fucker downstairs, but what's the worst he can do? Do not say that! Stop it! Stop! Weird us the fuck out like normal. Wow, okay. I'll laugh. I simply nod. The cold sense of dread clutching at my bowels has yet to fully recede, but I can feel its grip loosen somewhat. Move along, one of the attendants barks from behind us. Genzo is the king of laying his own death flags. I hate it! Stop doing it! Which sends us scuttling back into gear and moving quickly down the hallway. As we're descending the steps, Genzo starts to fidget. Hey, sorry about earlier. I try to turn, but my rabid attendant gives me an impatient shove from behind to keep me moving. Back in the, town. Needed some time to think is all. It's fine. It was a good idea to split up. No, it wasn't. I say quickly, waving my hands in dismissal. Genzo just winces, and when we reach the bottom of the stairs, he turns his attention to our increasingly grandiose surroundings. Titanic-sized flags line either side of the corridor, almost as though welcoming a colossal beast, and a brilliant red carpet bisects the middle, leading the way to an equally as impressive door. Jesus. 2 rabid attendants step to the side as the door opens of their own like magic, revealing an enormous golden ballroom, and at its center a long table piled high with some of the most opulent foods I've ever seen in my life. My eyes practically bug out in my head. But even as I eye the food, I can feel a gurgle of disquietude bubbling up inside my gut. Next to me, Genzo doffs his cap and holds it to his chest. Mary, Mother of Jesus. Hungry, gentlemen? He's so funny. You have walked an awful long way. You deserve a treat. Genzo twitches. I'm not even gonna comment on how weirdly sexual that sounded. Orlam just smiles. He's already heavily lidded eyes squinting further in amusement. Yes, everything is sex to you, isn't it? You have always liked to have your cake and eat it too. Oh, because you're the patron saint of purity. Orlam ignores him. He ambles over and throws his arms around both of our shoulders. Come, enough loitering around in this drafty doorway like a bunch of simpletons. My chef has put a lot of heart into this meal. It would do him a disservice to let it get cold. Genzo winces, but allows himself to be guided towards the table all the same. It is a rather tempting sight. I don't know why, but I just thought about that dream he had where there was a heart instead of the key to the door, and and for him to go in, there was a heart there, and now I'm thinking, well, maybe that has to do with their emotions or something? I don't know. I'm gonna think on that more. When I listen back to the VOD, I'll speculate, but I don't know why, but that just popped in my head. We're seated on either side of the table, more sets of rabbit attendants scurrying to ready our chairs. Orlam himself sits at the table, the head of the table, in an extravagant throne that looks like it could fit 5 of him inside it. Genzo bro, when Gidget goes low, Orlam goes lower. Gidget is mildly annoyed by him, but Orlam has psychologically complex beef with Genzo that needs to be sorted out by a licensed therapist. We love to see it. In other words, just queer drama. We love it. He leans back amongst the piles of cushions and blankets lining the seat, chin balanced on his palm, then raises his arms in the air and snaps his fingers. One of the rabbit attendants awaiting aside the far door darts out. Yeah. You're so cool. You drink wine. It's definitely grape juice. You can't fool me. He waves a hand in exasperation. Eat! I snap my head back towards the food. I am hungry, but I'm not gonna eat this. Though something about the food seems off. Something I can't even quite put my finger on. Something tingling in the back of my brain. Ugh, not the bacon-wrapped asparagus. Gross. I shake my head. Now's not the time to let myself get disconnected from reality. We need to eat, if only to regain our strength. With only a slight pause, I reach forward and begin grabbing some of the best-looking items on the table, filling up my plate. Genzo snorts as he forks a giant slice of roast and rips half of it off with his teeth. He doesn't seem at all concerned about the food if the giant pile on his plate is any indication. You sure you got everyone whipped around here? I mean, what do you expect? I am king. I can do whatever I want, and no one's gonna stop me. He takes another gulp of his wine. It feels good to be respected for once. I poke at my potatoes and watch the gravy run over the side and onto my asparagus. When I glance back up, Orlam's looking at me. He's got that little grin again, almost as though he can somehow feel my growing discomfort. I bring a spoonful of stuffing to my mouth. Haircut, Iggy? Oh, rude! What? I promptly choke around the spoon. Your hair. I couldn't help but notice it's lacking its usual volume. A bit choppy, though. You should go to somebody else next time. I drop my gaze back down to my plate and swallow the stuffing with an over-exaggerated gulp. Right, yeah. Orlam rests his chin on his fist with a snicker. At any rate, can I get you gentlemen some wine? His arms go up before we have the chance to respond, and another snap sends 2 rabbit attendants to the table with ready glasses to serve us. I'm not really sure I should be drinking alcohol right now, and I also don't really feel like I'm in a position to say no. Okay, so if this food is actually humans, then this wine is actually blood. That's probably just how that goes. Oh, he's super toxic. He's like the most toxic. He's really bad. He's septic. Yeah, he's the worst. But we love him. But we're having fun. Don't mind if I do. Genzo promptly downs half his glass in one gulp. I just look at mine in growing discomfort. The deep red color makes it look like blood. What did I just say? My stomach twists. I turn my gaze back to Orlam instead. He's not looking at me anymore. Or the food. In fact, his eyes are focused on Genzo. Me too. See, the interest to see how we were supposed to romance Orlam or Gidget, I feel like Genzo is painting in a green light no matter what. See, you'd think that, but I think it's like with each step, you're supposed to experience the other ones more so. And like, it adds more context, I'm thinking. I gotta go to bed. Good night, y'all. Have a good time and save Genzo for me. We're almost done anyway. After I finish this scene, I'm pretty much gonna end it, so good night. You'll have 5 minutes left of the vlog to watch. So have a good night. We'll talk more tomorrow. Boop, boop. In fact, his eyes are focused on Genzo. He's staring at Genzo, and so am I. I'm leaning forward, chin in his hand, grinning from ear to ear. So we will get evil Genzo? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm still wondering how he isn't evil, because he definitely has like some deep-seated issues for sure. And like Wonderland just amplifies those feelings, and I don't know why it's not amplifying it for him. His gaze follows Genzo's every move, from the movement of the wine glass from the mouth to the table to the forkfuls of cottage pie he shovels into his mouth. If my stomach had been twisting before, it's absolutely contorting now. Why does all this feel so familiar? And not just familiar, dread-inducing. Orlam picks up a fork and uses it. Orlam just has that effect on people. Picks up a fork and uses it to cut off a small piece of a bright red meatloaf. He jabs it onto the tines, then floats it in Genzo's direction. Try some of the loaf. No! I reach forward with a squawk before I can stop myself. Both of them turns towards me with identical looks of confusion, and I feel my cheeks start to burn. What's wrong, Iggs? Got something against meatloaf? Genzo just laughs. It's... I don't know what to say. I don't even know why I'd done that myself. I tug at my collar, all of a sudden feeling very warm. I just had a bad feeling is all. I bring a hand to my face. I don't know. Orlam lowers his fork with a smile. It's no surprise, really. You seem to have gone through quite the ordeal. That can't have been good on your mental health. Not him shaming us. I lower my head, clasp and unclasp my hands. I guess, yeah, I suppose so. Orlam stares at me a good second longer. He takes a sip from his wine, sits back. You didn't happen to run into Gidget, did you? He asked, balancing his elbow on the arm. This asshole. I twitch as the chill runs up my spine. Gidget. My throat feels incredibly tight. Oh, she's alive! So did she just tell him shit? Oh, no. You'll be mine forever. I'm having trouble forming the words to a response. Fortunately, Genzo saves me. We sure fucking did. Not that it did us any favors, he says with a grumble that sends tiny flecks of cornbread through his teeth. Oh? Orlam raises a brow. And here I thought you treated as honored guests given Gidget's pallid proclivities. Another twitch. My own little Iggy. I stare down at the spot on my pants. Is it blood? I can't tell. There's been so much of it, seeping down my cheeks, flooding my eyes. She's doing quite well for herself, though, yes? And some of those shoots she's doing? Positively erotic. Orlam rubs his chin with a lavish, skyward gaze. I confess to having subscribed to her myself. Get it every week through the Royal Mail. I'm not one to say no to innate beauty of the flesh, after all. Look, me too, but weird. Not that I don't get my fill here. Why? I go to bed with a different woman every night. Who? Who? Show me one woman, Orlam. Show me one. The noble woman. They can't get enough of me. I keep special housing close by for the most desirable of my royal subjects. We have grand parties every night. This You motherfucker lying through his teeth. Sometimes I even have 4 or 5 of them join me at night. Ah, shut up already. No one wants to hear about your gross sexual escapades. Genzo rolls his eyes. Orlum stops, gives Genzo a blasé stare. I'm sorry. I forgot you're only interested when there's men involved. Oh! Okay, he kind of slayed there. He kind of gagged me. I said, oh! That's crazy. That's crazy. Call coming from inside the house, Orlum. Genzo's face, he's bisexual. But still, Genzo's face goes white. Orlum, he hisses, all of a sudden looking incredibly nervous. This seems to give Orlum pause. He blinks, looks at me, then practically melts into an impish little smirk. This little rat. Oh, I see. You still haven't told him yet, have you? Told me what? I asked with an arc of my brows. He taps his chin. You know, I did always wonder why you never told him in particular. Isn't he your best friend? Orlum, please, Genzo's brow twists in panic. I hear his chair squeak as he jerks forward. Because it's really curious if you think about it, Orlum taps his finger to his lips and peers at the ceiling as though really ruminating on it. Genzo just throws a harried glance in my direction. He looks as white as a sheet, but before he can say anything and before the pieces can fully connect in my head, Orlum turns his attention back towards me. But not nearly as curious as Iggy. Genzo, I can read, but Iggy? You've always been a bit of an enigma to me. He leans forward, hand to his chin and eyes narrowed. The sudden scrutiny makes me sweat. I pull on my collar as I shift back in my chair. Me? I'm just me. I mean, I don't have any... Yes, just you. The you who's had a beautiful girl fawning over him for years, yet has never reciprocated. And as far as I know, has never dated either. No, not even college. Don't tell me. His eyes widen in amusement. Something's broken. It's not... My tongue feels about 5 times its normal size. I can feel the flush rising to my cheeks. Is it physical? Little Iggy? Not able to rise to the occasion? Orlum looks positively fascinated now, leaning up and out of his seat in his growing excitement. Or could it be mental? A childhood trauma, perhaps? Did someone take advantage of poor little... Oh! You can't just be saying that at the dinner table! Orlum! Yeah! Genzo rises to his feet so fast he nearly knocks his glass over. For fuck's sake, leave the guy alone! Orlum grins, but he does sit back, lounging in his throne, with a swish of his wine glass. I was merely asking him a question. You know, guy talk and all that. We never have done enough of it. I can feel the sweat leaking down my forehead, the back of my neck soaking into my collar. I look from Orlum to Genzo, then back to my lap. I need to say something. I love sex. I'm just picky. Dude, I have half a mind to end it right here on this wonderful choice. Because what is I love sex? Yeah, this is something a real human being says. Oh god. Okay, on a real note though, I know that the scene is gonna lead into... Should I make the choice first before I end stream? Or should I wait it for next stream? Because I feel like this is a great way to start the next stream. Is this on I love sex? Which is so awkward to say. I can't. Fuck. Nah, the scene's just gonna keep going and I'm gonna want to keep playing. So I think I'm gonna leave it. If you want to know which choice we go with next and how Act 2, I'm assuming, ends, because we're towards the end, tune in for next week's stream. But before we end things, I already saved, so I go back to the menu. And I'm gonna oh! Hold up! You weren't here before. Hello. Oh my gosh. We're really a couple now. Okay. So let me turn down the music and go to my end screen real fast so I can end stream properly. Alright, so I'm having a fucking blast. Oh my god. I was terrified when I ended yesterday. I was like, oh my god, we're gonna have to do this all again. It's just gonna be pain and suffering. I have had a blast from the second I started to now. Like, this was the quickest stream because I was just, like, having just so much damn fun. Like, Genzo's great. I am in love with him. We are getting married. This ship is my ride or die. Like, I don't care. Even if we die at this point, it doesn't matter. As long as they confess their feelings to each other, I think I'll be happy. I'll be like, you know what? It ended on a good note. I can hold it close and dear to my heart. There are going to be more horrors. This scene with Orlom is fucking great, and I feel bad that I had to cut it short, but I like to leave the streams about 3 hours long because my voice can't handle any more than that. But we're gonna be streaming Our Wonderland again on Thursday. I've decided that I'm gonna do 2 indie dev games on Thursday and Friday. Thursday's gonna be my, like, more dark indie games, and then Friday's gonna be my more lighthearted, because I don't want to do dark back-to-back because it's a little draining, I'm gonna be honest. Like, and I love Our Wonderland and I want to keep consuming it, but I also don't want to, like, I can only consume dark content for so much, so I won't be doing that. So I've called it, like, Trauma Thursdays and Fluff Fridays. You know, it's like a funny, stupid little thing. Tomorrow I will be streaming again, but it will be my only daytime stream. It'll be at 11 a.m. CST, so tune in. It's going to be a work stream. I'm going to be working on my games, writing, coding. I'm going to be working on my RPG update. If you guys don't want to be spoiled for Lord of Lies or anything like that, you can always have the stream playing in the background, just hearing me, but not actually watching the content if you're worried about spoilers, because there is a chance that I will click on things and show things or whatever. But I do need to work on it, and I do want to stream, so 2 birds, 1 stone. Then that'll be for 3 hours, and then on Sunday I will be streaming Dragon Age, my second entry for Dragon Age in my playthrough. Oh, Butter, that's really sweet of you to say. And then I won't be streaming and then I'll have my new stream schedule and so on and so forth. So we won't come back to Our Wonderland until Thursday, and probably only Thursday next week. Which I would love to play it, like, every day of the week, basically, but I don't think mentally I can take it, so we're only gonna do it 1 day a week and just enjoy it in that time. But I like taking my time with it. I'm really enjoying the story. This is fucking incredible. It's crazy that Carrot could write the exact same fucking act basically again, but then just add to it, and then you know all this shit, and then the added context just makes it so much stronger, and things hit different, and the jokes, and, like, it's, like, incredible. Like, I'm genuinely just, like, astonished, because I was like, oh, we're gonna have to go through all this again. No, just gotta get to the new shit, but, like, it's integrated so well. It's so well done. I cannot stress that enough, and I'm so excited to see what happens next week. And I'm sorry that we gotta wait till next week, but, you know, here we are. But I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. It's been great. This is my first week of streaming, and you guys have really shown up, and that's meant so much, whether it was for the game or for me or for both. It means the world. It's been really great. I've had a lot of fun streaming. I want to do it, like, every day, but obviously I can't. And I also have to do it when I get off of work, and having fun with the streams is really important because, like, I'm already exhausted when I get home, you know, and it's, like, something I have to do for me. And it's really encouraged me to play games, and this is exactly what I fucking wanted out of playing games in my spare time, is, like, genuinely enjoying playing a game and not thinking about work, not thinking about my other work, dev work, you know, my day job, all that stuff. So it's been incredible to just be able to really enjoy that. And I'm having all the fun in the world. And Carrot's been really enjoying the streams. Unfortunately, they can't show up to most of the streams because they're in the middle of the night, time zone shit. But they leave huge comments on the YouTube videos, and it means the world. I, like, wake up and I watch them, or read through them, and it's great. And I know that it makes them feel incredible, because it's a great feeling as a dev to have other people play your games, and everybody deserves to feel that way, genuinely. So I think I've discussed everything. I've yapped quite enough. I don't think there's anything else I'm missing, so I will see you guys tomorrow. But you'll see me in the afternoon, because I'll be streaming in the afternoon. So if you guys are looking for it, I would suggest you guys also do some work. If you guys are devs or you have some, like, chores and shit you gotta do, let's just all work and chill together. Let's just talk and yap and be productive. You know, it'll be a good time. So that's it for the stream. You guys have a good night, and thank you for dropping by. Bye. I'm waving, but you can't see me.